guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. Happy Saturday. I know there's a lot going on today, a lot of protests and different things like that, but I thought this would be the perfect thing for us to hang out and do on a Saturday night. So as many of you guys know, we have been getting the phone calls of Letecia Stauch for a long time now. And before, we could only get the phone calls from jail before she went to prison, right before she went to Kansas, and that was it. Well, we followed along with her lawsuit, and we know that she has recently been moved back to Colorado. So I put in a request, and we have a bunch of calls. This is just the beginning. I think we have 90 or something. Most of them are with one person. And I just want to say, I know that we're all going to be curious of who this person is, but if there is any, I wouldn't put it out there. I think Jen and I have a responsibility to edit these to keep people safe. And I think that their identity isn't important. But the conversation is important. It's very interesting. So I definitely want to talk about that. I just think that, the identity isn't important. It's more about the conversation. So I'm going to bring Jen up. I can't believe we got these. This is just the first night of this. We're going to be tomorrow on Jen's channel. And as we go, when we can. But yeah, so it's exciting. So these are recent calls, you guys. The ones we're going to listen to today are actually exactly 1 month ago. These are the first ones since she was moved back to the prison in Colorado. You're going to hear a lot about her move. You're going to hear a lot about YouTube and the things that have been put out on YouTube. You're going to hear a lot. I think you guys will really enjoy this. And yeah, I also had to edit out 2 other parts just for transparency purposes. There was one part where she's talking about somebody's personal trauma that she was in prison with, and it gets very graphic. I didn't want to include that, and I edited out a name of someone that she was talking about. Other than that, though, they are however they came. We just recorded them and put them in a video. So, hey, Bendy.
Hey, how are ya?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I am doing great. Thank you.
I know, me too. I'm excited for you to hear these. No more Amy Lang Riley. No. And she's going to come up too, as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you did, Wolfie? Hey, you guys, say happy birthday to our Wolfie.
Is it Wolfie's birthday?
It is. Yes, it is.
Happy birthday to you. Oh, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Wolfie. Happy birthday to you. Oh. Happy birthday, Wolfie.
Happy birthday. Oh, and you're going to hear, they're like, they think at one point they say that like listening to the calls is stalking them. I can't wait to go through this and give like our opinions and our thoughts and actually what we're doing here and correcting some misinformation about, so I guess the inmates are going to have free calls from now on, starting very soon, if not now. The jail also can't sell them. I did pay for these, not very much, just for their time. It was not much at all. And the people who receive the calls are not allowed to sell them or use them in adverts, things like that. Uploading them to a free site where people can watch and listen for free, is a totally different story. So that's why, just by the way, usually I like to put them on Patreon first. But I don't want to do that. I guess I could have put them on the free tab over there, but even just like intertwining Patreon with it, I would rather just do it like this. So, Bendy, any thoughts before we get started?
No, I can hardly wait to hear these because, this is, it's Tecia. So here we go.
Yeah, but you guys are in for a treat because Jen hasn't heard these either. And I won't hear the ones she edits until we listen together. But I've heard them all a couple times, and I hope I didn't miss anything. I wanted to make sure and remove any signs of, one, the person she's talking to's identity. I don't think that we need that.
Yeah, that's not important. Look, you got, like Allie said, it doesn't matter. It's not about who this person is. We don't care. that Leticia's allowed to talk to people while she's in prison. Okay. My name's Paul. That's between y'all. We don't care. We don't care.
It's more about the conversation. And with Letecia, I mean, we've followed, this is not about the case even. When we're doing these phone calls, it's a psychological study of a psychopath or someone who was able to do something so like she did. I believe she could be a psychopath, but regardless, it's like a psychological study following along. It's truly unbelievable. Just wait till y'all hear, because she's going to make excuses for everything, talk about how she manipulates, talk about how they forgive people who commit terrible crimes because God forgives, just all kinds of stuff. I think you guys will be like,
and by the way, y'all, these are her prison calls. This isn't jail. These are all new from 2025, from last month, 1 month ago. That's it. 1 month. So let's see. Has Letecia learned anything since being in prison? I'm going to guess no, but we'll see.
I cannot wait for you guys to hear. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Call, press 2. If you would like.
Oh, just also one last thing. Some of the calls are on the tablet. Some are down like at the phones. The tablet calls are a little weird sounding. They're just weird. You can hear them. I can make out 99% of it, but that's why the quality might vary in between calls.
Yes, absolutely. That's important to remember. There's only so much. If I were a music engineer, I could probably fix it. I'm not a music engineer, so I can't fix it. There's only so much we can do. So, there you go.
Yep, absolutely. And you are so welcome, Nancy keeps on. I thought you guys would be excited to hear these, so I'm excited too. But okay, here we go.
Like to permanently block your number for. Hello, this is a free call from an incarcerated individual at Denver Women's Correctional Facility. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. To accept this free call, press 1. To refuse this free, thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi. I think I wrote back. I was like, oh my gosh. That went through fast. That what?
I said, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm just relaxing. I was watching some TV and just chilling, really. Not really that great out. I mean, it's not that cold or anything, but the sun's not even really out, so. I was just laying here and kept closing my eyes, and then I called GTL, and they told me that you'll have to probably grieve it from there.
Oh, God. Never mind.
Yeah. I'm like, well, she doesn't even have, like, GTL from there or anything
grieve,
like that.
I'm not there, yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't know.
That's weird, though, because that's GTL's money. So it's like, basically, they just keep the money. It's GTL keeping the money, not Kansas, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and you only have, like, 90 days to, like, refund it, or else they just keep it.
Yeah.
So.
Because, you know, they always somebody stealing people's money.
I know, right? That's what they do.
Yeah.
How much did you have on there?
I think it was like 56 because either my stepmom or my aunt, one of them must have figured it out and had just put money on there.
Oh, really? They're probably like, dang it.
It had to be one of them because they had wrote a message, and Red had told me that they wrote a message, and then I never got to see it because obviously I went out to the yard that morning, and then of course I never returned.
Oh, that sucks.
She may have wrote, but she didn't write you back, so she might not have wrote anybody back to say I was gone because they might have turned it off right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, I could text her and just tell her that you're there and this and that, whatever.
Yeah, well, her number's on her now, so I can call her.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, all my numbers got added. I think they added it a little bit ago.
Hey, Allie,
that
hang
was
on.
Quick. Didn't you just do it yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday. She said she was turning into the.
Okay.
So as we can see, some things never change. Letecia learned her lesson from being in the El Paso County Jail, and she put she allowed Amy Lang and Aunt B to talk. And I would imagine I just know that they probably compared notes, which is obviously going to be a problem. So now you see how Letecia's like, swerve. No. I know her number. She's on here now. She's on the list. It's fine. You don't need to text her. You don't need to call her. You don't need to communicate with her at all. Don't you worry.
Yeah. And they're talking a little bit about when she left. Like she just it kind of just happened, And
Yeah, like
so
she
again,
didn't know. Fuck off, Letecia. That's a lie. They tell you.
I was curious about that.
Yeah, they don't just snatch you up. Look, you know that you might not know exactly when it's going to happen, but they do tell you. You think that Chris Watts was shocked when they transferred his ass to Dodge? No.
Well, I knew that she knew. I just mean like in that moment, you know what I mean? To not know exactly when and just be like out on the yard. I am also shocked they didn't do it like at night or early in the morning.
That's true.
Okay, so Little Red, I'd mentioned this before, and for anybody coming in, we do not know who this woman is, and
we don't care.
I don't want to know. Yeah. If they're just like transparency purposes, if her name comes up in any of the calls, we are going to edit it out because you'll see later she has a fear of these calls going out and people trying to stalk her and stuff. And we would never do that, but how do you know somebody watching wouldn't? So just to protect her and everybody, we want to it doesn't matter because it's more about the content of the conversation.
Right.
And it seems to be someone new.
Right. And remember now, just because Letecia said she went out to the yard and they snatched her up does not mean that's how it happened. Letecia is not good friends with the truth. So
yeah, true. Hey, Kit, we got talked about a bit, but you'll see here in a little bit. Again, I emailed Kit earlier and told her that she got mentioned and that I edited out her name because I'm also not putting that out. I'm gonna protect. We are both gonna protect everybody we can. It's
right, because that's not really the point. The point isn't really who she's talking to. It's really what she's saying. So
yeah, I totally get it. Kit still gets crap for talking to Tecia, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
The guy, and he would have to look over it. Whatever. All the numbers were the same except yours. So
yeah.
So he probably just saw that those same numbers were already approved from before. So
Yeah, so it was pretty quick. It was just mine that they had to do.
Yeah. Did you get a message? Like usually they send a message to ask to approve it.
Oh, I didn't even look.
Oh no. They might not do that. They might not do that anymore because now they ask for like full information, like name and address and all that. So
yeah, because I didn't get anything, and then when I seen that, I was like, okay, I'm just going to answer every Colorado call until I know it's her.
So these crazies are at it again.
Yes.
Oh,
hey,
I want
crazy.
to tell you, but I want to see. I don't think that they're going to get phone calls because I looked it up and it said no because they can't profit from it there, and they don't usually do that anyways. I think they just did it because you moved from before, and they passed a law like in August of 20, like just after as you got like left basically. Yeah. So in months they had to like do something with like how because I guess they have to do, I don't know, I forgot.
Oh, wow.
It's like pretty much, I don't know if our phone calls are free because they said that our phone calls will be free now.
It's not exactly how the law works, but that's okay. I'm not going to explain it to you. It's not my job to explain the law to you or to Tecia. So good luck with that.
But yeah, the jail can't profit. We can't use them in ads or sell them to TMZ, but you can post them for free on public,
right.
YouTube.
Right. We're also not a business. And so we can't look what that law is, what she's talking about is basically like this. If we worked for an attorney's office, a lawyer, right? We couldn't just start, requesting these calls from prisoners, listening to them, and then try to solicit business on behalf of the lawyer. That's it. That's all. That's it. It's not that deep.
And the only other thing I want to say on it is we checked about 5 different ways and did our best to make sure that we were correct on that.
Right,
before we
exactly.
ever scheduled a
Exactly.
live.
And listen, I'm not even going to throw shade at not understanding that law because it is a little bit difficult. So there you go.
Right. Thank you, Lisa, for giving a membership. Thank you so much. And also, I just gave some too that YouTube gave me. And but yeah, Jen. So I guess the prison, like their calls will be free though.
Yeah,
so that's interesting.
it will be starting July 1st of 2025. They will have free calls at the prison. There's been a bill out. They've been steadily decreasing the cost of these calls for prisoners to their families because it's mainly for the people in the prisons really who are going to be paroled. They need to they before they become too institutionalized, they need to be able to talk to their families. Letecia is going to benefit from that, even though she's not going anywhere.
Yeah. And Riley said, is this person a chatter? Oh, girl. Jen's working on one day and she's like, I think it was like 74 to 120 some calls.
Yeah. Yeah. One day, 20 calls.
Oh, Pointer Lover, thank you for being a member for 40 freaking months. And I love you too. And thank you for everything. Thank you for always having my back and being here for me, supporting me, believing in me. Thank you. And a little red, thank you for 19 months. Thank you guys so much.
Not any prison. I don't know if you're asking about like, can you request calls from any prison? You can request, but you might not get them. But Texas is doing something similar, or there's legislation to try to do something similar. So yeah, I don't know how that's going to go, if that'll pass or whatever, but I guess.
Yeah. Interesting. Some states allow it, some don't.
Right.
We tried with Kansas. They don't release anything like that. So
right.
Okay.
Do they do that?
No.
Oh, wait, before I press play, this will not be the only thing that we're fact checking or clearing up some misinformation. I'll just let you guys know.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
You crazy.
Okay. I know. Okay, crazies. Let's go.
All right, let's
You
go,
ready?
crazies. Yes, crazy.
Okay, crazy. Here.
Wait, who said that?
I saw it on the internet that some law passed that they're building on to where our calls are free. So they can't like profit off like selling like calls and stuff like that.
Wait a minute. So you didn't pay for this call?
Well, I put it on advance.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Thing, but I don't know.
You're saying it hasn't started yet, but they passed it.
Yeah, well, they passed it in 2023, and then gradually they were going into that. So by now it should be that way. So I'm not really 100% sure.
That might be why they have something on here about that advance pay thing. It's like a notice, and it says like, due to some kind of changes in law, it says something about the advance pay people have to do it through advance pay, that you can't call them and they add a debit or something. It was saying, I didn't know. I was going to call you and send it to you.
Maybe that's why. I did put 30 on there, but I don't know if I'm being charged or not. I didn't know. On the Securious, they have like all these different things that you put money on. I'm like, what? But then there's like a separate thing for JPay, and then you can go in the messages there. There's like 2 separate things. I'm like, I don't even know what's going on with this. But I was like, I don't even know where I'm putting money or what I'm doing, but I want to make sure you can call. I don't know, but they said that they passed something, and they can't, and like the outside can't profit off buying phone calls with that law. So I don't know, but I'm praying not. Hello.
I left this
Hello?
one part in here. It's pretty funny. They're gonna
Oh my
Okay.
God. Hello. Hello.
You there?
You there? They seem to have quite a close
Hello?
relationship, though. I'm wondering
They
if this
do.
is like her girlfriend, Jen.
I don't know.
Hello, this is
Kind of
Hello.
appears that way.
I mean, look here.
Try to call back.
Sorry.
No, it's
Hello?
fine. Keep playing it. I'll just talk in between.
Okay, yeah.
The caller has hung up. Hello, this is a prepaid collect call.
Here, I'll pause because I think it might go into the call now.
All right. So look, the language in the thing is a little wonky, but they're talking what it actually says: direct solicitation of business for pecuniary gain. I have to read it again, but it means
Yeah, I
it
can't
means
say that.
financial gain. I need to look at the word to see, because sometimes I try to put an R in and there's no R, but or there is an R and I don't put the R. I don't know. I think it's pecuniary gain. All that means is we can't use these calls to solicit business. Like a lawyer can't use these calls to solicit clientele. We are not a business. We're not trying to solicit business. We're not profiting. We're not selling these calls. It's ridiculous. That's not how that works. So
yeah. And then if it ends up being Nicole K, will you still mute out her name? Nancy says, honestly, yeah. Because I would feel like, even though I hate to say that, I feel a responsibility because, and Jen
she
and I
ain't
were talking
charged
about
with
this.
anything.
Also, no matter who it was, like, what if somebody went and attacked them or something? Like, that would be on me, and I would not want to live with
I don't
that.
want that responsibility. Hey, I don't want that. I don't want that evil, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that evil on me. It doesn't matter who this girl is. It really doesn't in the scheme of things. It doesn't.
Yeah. No.
Call from Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, thank God. I'm like, oh no.
I think it's because like when the thing, it's hard to get a call in because everybody's on the tablets. You know what I mean? And it uses the tablets to call.
Oh, because I kept hearing like a little click, kind of like randomly.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh.
So the headphones have the little, the little piece you turn off and on. So I kept doing that, but like I guess you couldn't hear me because the bandwidth.
Oh.
Because everybody probably uses their tablet all the time.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh no. Call me back. Did you hear me?
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm trying, but I can't get service. It's basically like a cell phone. If you don't got service, it ain't going to connect.
Yeah, that's so weird that like you can hear me, but I could not hear you for nothing. It kept like clicking. Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm good. I went outside for a couple hours, and then I went to class about dealing with emotions, and then I have class again at 1 o'clock, and then class again at 3 o'clock.
Oh, that's cool. So you're keeping busy.
Yeah, and then after class at 3 o'clock, we have to lock down for 4 o'clock count, and then 5 o'clock we come out.
That's cool. So you're mostly out.
Well, I'll be out all the time once I make level 3.
Yeah, which could be long.
Yeah, it shouldn't be long, but you can do everything then. You can go. Like, I want to make it before the end of the month because they have Surge coming up. Remember when I told you it was like this group where the men come over from the male facility and they do like, it's like a bunch of lifer men and they come over and talk to the girls. And we talk about like everyday life, like prison, and we do like sessions and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And then we got a comedy show the 28th, I think. And then, of course, we get church every Sunday at 9, and then another one at 10, and then another one at 6 p.m., which is kind of behind bars. And then we do yoga on Mondays at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yoga.
And then, let's see what else.
You have a very full schedule, Letecia.
Yeah, once I make level 3, I'll go do all that stuff. Library, gym.
Library.
Yeah. I called all the courts, and they said that you'll have to send a letter letting them know that.
Well, they don't know how they think I'm going to send a letter because everything I have is in Kansas.
Oh, wonder. No, I told them. I'm like, well, she just got transferred. She's an intake. She does nothing like right now, and yeah. And they're like, well, she's gonna have to send like some kind of proof, and I'm like, you guys are so frustrating. It's like I'm telling you.
Like, the thing about it, they have a law that you have to let them know your address transfer in 14 days. But I'm not going to have my stuff put in 14 days. I'm already been here 9 or 10. So that's why I asked you to call, because it's like, you would think common sense, they would be like, oh, okay, well, she's an intake. Let me, put something on here to say, it'd take longer than 14 days because, she won't have anything for 14 days.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah.
I know, I was like getting so frustrated. I'm like, seriously, she is. So can you just, I'm not going to lie about her. Her address is at Denver. Like, why would I send you to Denver? You know?
I forgot to tell you if you can let Eric know too.
That what?
He might already know, but if you could let Eric know that I'm back at DW.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to pause. Not sure who he is, but she doesn't seem to have too much interest in him because I don't see any calls with him this month that we got. But I had asked the chat, Jen, do they want a spoiler about Ain't B? Remember what I told you last night?
Yes. Before you give them a spoiler, did you hear her? You've been there 9 days and you act like you're back at DW.
I didn't even
like you
notice
just
called her that.
Okay, Keisha. All right, tell him.
Okay, so Ain't B and Tecia try to call each other a couple times, and at the end, we finally get a call. I have not even heard it all because after I listened to these, and I was so exhausted, I could not get through it. But it starts with Ain't B telling Tecia, honey, I got in some trouble, baby. I had to go to jail. I was arrested and I was in there for 4 hours and she went to jail and we're going to hear all about it. So I cannot wait for you guys to hear that.
Tisha Lynn, you'll never guess what, baby, I went to jail. I got into some trouble. I was in the jail for 4 hours, baby. I'm telling you, man. Tisha Lynn, listen here. They made me show my cooter.
Oh my God. And Tecia was
B.
Oh my God, I found it. Wait a minute. This says from 516. Hold on. Let's see if this is it. Wait. Because I meant to do this last night. Yep. Oh my. Wait,
was she dear.
Hold on. She was arrested again today? Wait, she was arrested for assault and battery, 3rd degree. But wait a minute. 516. Why did I say today? A month ago.
Today. You can't math like I can. Oh, Ain't B. What did you did, Ain't B? For 4 hours, Ain't B.
This might be a different one. I don't know. Wait, it might be the same one because she does say last week. Or I thought she said last year. I don't know. I'll double check. We'll hear it together. So we'll find out.
Ain't B, did that new boyfriend get handsy and you had to take matters in your own hands, Shug? Listen, Ain't B. Baby.
Oh.
Look, they got her an orange too. An orange is blessed. Oh, Ain't B. Oh, Ain't B. Oh, dear. You look humongous, baby. All right, love you. Bye.
Y'all should have heard Tecia. Yeah, right. Arrest does not equal conviction, but she seems to think she's like, I messed up, Tecia. Like, and Tecia was laughing. She could not believe it. She's like, wait, which jail? And she's like, Brenda's like, now I know what it's like in there. It's just crazy. Oh, you guys would get a kick out of that.
Oh, Ain't B. Arrested and accused and charged of assault. Oh, no. 3rd degree, too. Damn, Ain't B.
Justin said, shouldn't have been talking shit.
What happened, Ain't B? You whacked somebody with your handbag, babe? Is that what happened? Come on, Ain't B. Get up here and tell us about it.
We'll find out more as we go, I think. But
do you run into any of the Volturian there? How about them ninjas? They did you have to make a square? Jesus.
People are shocked. What? Now we need her jail call. That would be hilarious. But also, I mean, at the end of the day, Brenda has really done nothing but support her
Yeah.
niece. And Tecia has done something so terrible that
Yeah, she has. Look, Aunt
you
B,
have
I ain't
to
judging
wonder
you, babe.
how.
You
Right.
do kind of, it does make you wonder. I just think, now I kind of feel bad. Aunt B.
See, I do too, because I'm like, she hasn't with Tecia, I don't feel bad. I think you have to
No.
study a person that is capable of what she did. Like, it makes me so curious. Now I understand why, like, these doctors that write books and stuff study like Ted Bundy and people like that. You can't help but wonder how, like, and why, and what the hell is wrong with you. But with Brenda, she hasn't done anything. I wouldn't want to do that. I would feel bad if we, too much.
Yeah.
It's funny
Aunt
that
B, we're not, Aunt B, we ain't going to request your jail calls, honey. Don't worry about it. You're safe, Aunt B.
Yeah. Shouldn't have had her cooter out in her bra showing.
Did you leave your bra in the back of the car, Aunt Brenda? Did you wear two short shorts that your cooter was out?
Oh my
Aunt
God
B.
Almighty. Don't kill our fun, Allie. I'm sorry. I feel bad. And there are times that we've heard her on the phone just crying, that Ticia's being so mistreated. We know that's not true and stuff. And I feel like she has been just manipulated so much and she doesn't deserve that. So that's my stance. But I'm not judging y'all for wanting to hear, because I'd like to hear too.
Me too.
Yeah. All right. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. I'll email him and let him know.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Sandler?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
true, Harley
Yeah, okay.
Quinn.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I wanted him to just let him know whatever. He didn't already know.
Okay. Yeah, I'll email him today and let him know.
So my friend still says she got a life sentence when she went back.
Yeah. It says life sentence and then something else added.
Now, this is the part where, just a heads up, because I'm going to try not to pause for a bit, and we can just listen. Jen, if you want me to pause, let me know. But this is where you will notice that there has been something cut out. Again, it was somebody's very personal, traumatic story, and I just don't feel comfortable playing it. I think that, what if it's not even true? And the way Tecia was talking about it pretty graphically, I don't know. I just didn't want to. I told Jen, I was like, I think I should cut it out. And she's like, yeah, do it. And so then I cut it out.
Yeah. I mean, listen, some of this stuff, like, we're not, contrary to what apparently a couple of people on this phone call think, we're not like that. Okay.
Right.
Tecia, look, you killed a kid. Okay. You get what you get. All right.
Yeah.
Aunt Brenda don't deserve that. And she was good to you.
Yeah.
And you know what? I got to say, Aunt Brenda, that's not even that bad of a mugshot. That is definitely not the worst mugshot I've ever seen. Okay. It could have been so much worse. You seen some of these mugshots? They got you looking crazy, but yours is all right. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, actually, she looks good. That's what even the comment says here. Thank you, Pointer Lover, for her commissary fund. Thank you. The comment says, if I make it to 72, I hope I look half this good. She actually does look very good. And I just wanted to show you real quick that it was also on Horry County mugshots, and it looks like it is assault and battery, 3rd degree. So I'm not sure what happened, but yeah, that is the correct charge. I didn't know because I didn't trust the other site. So that's the only reason I wanted to double check. But okay, here we go. You got something you want me to pause? Let me know. I'm going to let it go for a second. Smoke a cigarette. Because now that I'm on this mic,
me too. Let me go.
I don't want to take it out. Okay, that's what we'll do. Okay, bye.
Bye, crazy one.
Bye, crazy.
Bye,
Okay,
crazy.
crazies in the chat.
Later, crazies.
Here we go.
What?
Yeah.
I don't understand that, because so it still says felony murder, right?
Yeah. It does.
I don't understand that. That's crazy, because she wasn't even. That's crazy. She was driving a car. That was it.
Wow. Yeah, I was like, seriously? What did she do?
Remember, you had looked it up that time I read it about the smoke shop getting robbed, and this dude went crazy and he was hearing voices and he killed this guy at the smoke shop, but she was in the car. Yeah, she was in the car.
She wasn't even involved, really. I mean, just being there, got her in that. That's crazy.
Because they have a law here, it's a compliciter law. So, like, they're saying that she knew he was going to do that.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, how can they determine that? How can you really know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says life without parole, 4 years.
4 years.
Oh wait, she's in county. It says it says current facility, LA Vesta or whatever, correctional facility, and then I'm sorry, that's where she was. Never mind, that's where she was in jail. But no, she's in the correctional facility right now.
Oh, okay, so she went back to county for her trial, so that's what we were looking at.
Yeah, yeah, it says life plus 4 years.
Plus 4?
Yeah.
They must have added something when she went back.
That's pretty.
I really was rooting for her because she was the one I told you that when they went back to the sub shop, she literally parked her car right there. Like, if you knew somebody was going to go do that, why do you park your car right there? Like, it's on the side street, but under a camera so they could see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you get life for that even, though? I mean, maybe just a couple of years, maybe, but come on.
At least, like, accessory or something, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I was really hoping that she would have got that word. Dang. And it says she's back at Letecia?
Yeah.
Dang.
That's good you weren't transferred there.
Huh?
Glad you weren't transferred there.
Oh, I know. Yeah, and then when I got back here, my friend Roxanne, I got back here and I asked my other friend, I was like, where'd Roxanne go? Can you tell her to come over here? And she was like, my friend was like, yeah, but that's going to be a problem because she's in Letecia too. I'm like, what? Yeah.
So you're not like,
yeah, some of the girls that I was up here in this mental health unit with before, like Vanessa I knew from county. I was with her the whole time in county, but because she sat in county like 2 years. And then I met Roxanne when I got here, but when I left, I didn't get to tell Roxanne bye, and because I left in the middle of the night, and we had just celebrated my birthday, and then we did my birthday and then we did someone else's birthday that following week. I think that was like 13th or whatever, and they took me in the morning. So
yeah.
So I guess you had probably. Yeah, my friend was like, yeah, she woke up and went to your room looking for you.
Hold the hell up. I gotta pause this. I put my cigarette out and everything. Hold on. She just said she left in the middle of the night. But then she said she was out in the yard on the last call. Does she not remember? Certainly this girl must realize, and I'm here to tell you, honey, some things she's saying are just simply not true. We'll get to that in a little bit. I'm going to correct a few things. But you did, Jen. And people were saying, wait, somebody said they do actually take them usually in the middle of the night. Okay, that's all. I just had to say, I noticed that. Okay, we're not going to go past that. All right, I'm going to go finish my cigarette. Got that too, Allie.
On. And then you're gone. But, yeah, so I guess she had, got here, did really good, got in the dog team and was, a dog handler. And then, I guess she got into a relationship with somebody, and then it became abusive. This is a story I was told. I want to hear, but it became abusive, and then they talked with her position with the dog team, and then I guess the option was that they, send her there for a little break. But the thing about it there is, if you get sent there, you can't because she gets one little write-up, she's getting sent back here, and she's going to close custody.
Oh, really?
yeah, it's so petty, like so much more pettier there because it's more of like a, you know, they expect you to, it's got to be everybody that never gets in trouble that goes there, you know?
Oh.
So one little thing though, seeing you back here in close custody, and that was what she got out of it. When she came to this program, mental health, she was in close custody, was getting in trouble, fighting, whatever. And she was a lifer, she was a life sentence without parole. But, you know, she was just like, dang, I don't want to live in close custody my whole life, you know?
Yeah.
So she came up for this program and it got her, you know, got her out of trouble, whatever. I would pray with her and she's like, I'm going to do good. She did. But then I guess that situation costed her. So I guess they moved her there to like, you know, to let it settle, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
She's been there for a while.
Well, she just left. They said she just left like 2 months ago from here.
Damn. Well, good thing you aren't there. It's probably better where you are.
Yeah,
actually.
she's been here in prison for a while, but she just went there on the van.
Oh.
That's what the counselors was telling me, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks that she doesn't have, I mean, she doesn't even deserve life like that. That's crazy.
So Vanessa, yeah, oh yeah, Vanessa, yeah, that's Vanessa. I was talking about Roxanne.
Oh, Rex. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Vanessa, that was crazy. I mean, that situation always just blew my mind that our justice system did that with her because that's sad.
Yeah. That is sad. I wonder what happened with that. I wonder if I can find anything.
Yeah, because I wonder if she went to a new trial and they just found her guilty again or what? I mean, like common sense, she drove the car, obviously, but I don't think that should account for felony murder.
Yeah.
Because I have to prove that she was going to rob the store or the guy was going to rob the store. And like the DA, of course, you know who her DAs were, the same one. The lady that walked around like wobbling, you know, the same one I had. They were like, she is Bonnie to his Clyde. But that's why they returned the case back to county because they were like, they couldn't say that because that would be insinuating or implying that, you know, these two went on these sprees all the time and she didn't even know the guy really. So, and they had never been in trouble before together. So,
yeah.
Call her Bonnie and Clyde. So that's why that was one of the reasons they overturned her. Is I read that.
Yeah. That's messed up. I mean, how would they even prove that?
They'd have to prove that you knew that a robbery was going to take place. But the crazy thing about it was, at the scene, there was what's the thing called? The vape. There was vape, and the vape had the victim's DNA on it and the dude's DNA on it. So you know they smoked a vape together.
Right.
So do someone just go in there and just rob somebody, go in there and be like, you have to know somebody to be like, hey, you want to smoke a cigarette? You know, or hey, you want to, you know, or something.
Right.
Are you really criticizing? Hold on a minute.
There
Hold
was
the
cash
phone.
in
Back the milk truck
register
up.
left. I think it was like $1,000 left in the register, so the money weren't gone. So they were basically saying it was just items, like smoke shop items that was gone. And that's how they
grabbing like cigarettes.
Tecia, are you truly criticizing somebody's thought process during the commission of a crime? You are critiquing and criticizing? By the way, insinuating and implying are the same thing. They're synonyms, Dr. T. I'm shocked you don't know that. That's all I have.
Well, she is doing that, but we're going to hear in a little bit how they both think, you know, shit happens in life. Sometimes, you know, bad stuff happens. Yeah, you're going through a lot, whatever. And, you know, God forgives. So why wouldn't we?
Oh, okay. Good to know. See, shit happening is, I don't know, you find yourself getting prescription pain medication, right? And then maybe it escalates and they no longer will give you your prescription pain medication. So you got to go out on the street and you got to get, you know, a street med. Okay. But then that shit gets expensive. And so you have to turn to hooking to keep up your habit. Okay. That's an example of how, you know, sometimes shit just happens. People be going through stuff, not murdering children, Letecia. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, not exactly. And that's my interpretation you'll hear, but it's pretty much that. I mean, I sit there listening thinking, wonder how Gannon's mother feels about that. You know what I mean? Because
yes. Here, look at MK.
MK.
Where can I get this without commentary? Caitlin. Oh my God. I'm already, you've made one comment and I'm done with you for the whole day. Happy Father's Day, by the way, MK.
Yes, happy Father's Day. And they will be posted without commentary later. Yes, happy Father's Day, Adrian. Happy Father's Day. Okay. Here we go.
Jesus, Letecia.
They'll be posted with no commentary after the live.
Or something.
MK.
Well, I guess there's like songs and stuff, maybe. I guess.
Oh.
I don't know. It was a weird thing. Like, I remember her trial was only like 2 days long, and it was just like nothing because there was like nothing.
Yeah. I'll have to look and see if there's any updates with that.
Yeah.
I'll look and see when I get off with you, and I'll email Eric too.
Oh, man.
I could even prove that. I'm so happy you're there. I literally when I seen you release, I was like, oh my gosh, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
What time did you know?
I knew about 3:30 on that Monday.
Oh, it took you that long to know? Okay.
What time? When did you go?
I was at 9 a.m.
Oh, 9 a.m. Oh, they didn't update anything till like about 3:30ish.
She just said they got her in the night. Okay, whatever. Maybe she's talking about different times.
No, she's just a big lying liar. She might have got to Colorado at 9 a.m. They're behind whatchamacallit. They're behind Kansas. So who knows? Look, this is the same person who we just watched her lie about being broken into. The house got broken into, and the ridiculous, and then get offended when her story didn't jive. And the fucking cop told her, "Shut up, Tecia."
Yes, he did. Albert, are you really gonna let this happen? Like, what do you want him to do?
Wow, Albert. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Get out of here. You shouldn't say wow like that, Letecia. You sound like Dory when she's talking to that whale. Wow. That's what you sound like.
Okay. Yeah, she definitely does. Oh, God. Wonder if she was told that we got that. Probably because they talked. There's apparently a lot that was said in Kansas that they don't ever want coming out. You'll hear that, too, in a minute. Okay, here we go.
I'm like,
makes you wonder
about
what.
That. So I went on there. At first, it showed. Wait, how did it go? I think at first I went in there and it showed that you were there. And then a little bit later, I'm like, oh, let me see if, whatever, I might write or whatever. And then I looked in there and it showed that you're released. And so I looked it up on what that means,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Like, I was literally in like, I don't know. I can't even explain how I was in tears. All your prayers have been answered.
I knew something was up. I literally was standing on the yard in yellows, and I put an orange suit and boots, and I saw a van up there, and I just it crossed my mind for a second, but then I was like, whatever. And then when the captain came down to the heart pants, I already knew. But they already told everybody to go inside. And I didn't see heart pants until after people had went inside, And they were making it sound like I was going to property. So I thought I was going to pick up my lamp I ordered so I could put the oils on it. So I thought I was going to get my lamp. I'm like, oh, I guess they're going to come. Because they were like, hey, property's calling you. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm probably going to get my lamp. But then everybody else was going inside the yard. And so I had left my with outside, everything. So I just was like, okay, cool, all right, see y'all later. And then I just
I thought they would get you in the middle of the night. I honestly thought they were going to come and get you in the middle of the night. And they actually came during the day.
I don't think that's when they were supposed to get me, because when I got here, it was like 5 p.m. when we got here. Mountain time.
So like when I got here, I never got to go through intake again. So I don't even have an ID or anything because I never went back through intake. So when I got here, the lady was like, wait, you're here? You're not even supposed to be here till tomorrow. That was the lady here said that.
Oh, really?
You know, that told me right there that they probably weren't keeping me up so late at night. But they were probably thinking that someone had, you know, snuck and told somebody, so they changed it up, you know, and went earlier, you know.
Yeah. They
So that's why when I
thought,
got here, I got put in a cell, and no one knew I was here. And so, like, 2 days went by. I'm like, I'm knocking on doors to the man. I'm like, right now, like, I don't have anything. I don't even have shoes. I can't brush my teeth. I don't have nothing. He was like, who are you? And I was like, oh, they just got you back here. I said, no, I've been back for 2 days. He was like, oh, okay. And then these other people kept coming by, and 2 more days went by. It was finally a Thursday, and I had literally was about to be on a meltdown, girl. I was like in there losing my mind. Like at this point, I had started becoming delirious because you know how I get.
yeah,
I
that's
don't
what I was
sleep,
afraid of.
you know. Yeah, and then I've got so much anxiety and stress, and then I start disassociating, and that's exactly what I did. And girl,
I felt your
started
pain.
freaking out. Yeah, I started freaking out, and I was like, okay, now. I said, so then I started telling the people, I don't remember any of this, but they told me, they said, you started telling us, hey, do they do assisted suicide in this state? What? And I was like, I told you that I was like, Stauch, we don't do it. What are you talking about? This country don't have that. And he was like, you were adamant. Like, yes, they do. He was like, you were talking about all the people that did it. And I was like, yeah. I said,
oh, man.
anything in a room like that. I had nothing.
No.
And so I started going crazy. And so that probably didn't help either. While they were like, okay, it weren't even like 2 hours, girl. They had me over here in the mental health unit. I'm like, you girl. They probably were like, Candace really tried to make her crazy, and now she's really gone crazy. Let's get her over there in the mental health pod.
It's like y'all don't understand. I just need to move around. I need to get out. I can't be cooped in this room. You know, I'd be the same way though if I was stuck like that. I'd be saying all kinds of stuff. I'd be like, you know,
people,
I mean,
people should do. They should do a study on that because, you know, like put something on people's brains, like, you know, people with caps on their brains and monitor that when you leave someone in a room like that. I mean, I'm sure somewhere somebody has done that, but like. That's the same shit I was doing in El Paso County. When I got thrown in that room like that, I was segregated for, 13, 14 months by myself.
oh my gosh.
I didn't know what was going, what was coming. I didn't know anything in the world going on. I didn't have the first newspaper. I didn't even know who had won the presidency. Like, you know, so it was just crazy. Like, that messes with your brain. And like,
That's lies.
Yeah.
after 4 days sitting in there. So then once I got over here in the mental health pod, the guy was like,
Actually, I was going to say, Jen, I have seen studies where, now not about her, but I'm saying where
Right.
people, when they are left alone in solitary confinement for a long time, like it does crazy
Yes.
things to their mental
But
health.
she's talking about when she was in El Paso. She was
Oh, I
never
thought she
in
was talking about
solitary.
in Kansas.
No, she said, like when they had me back in El Paso County, and that, you know, for
Oh.
those searching, you were never in solitary. You need to stop playing with these people. You were not segregated, Letecia. You tried to play mental health games in an effort to manipulate housing. We have the reports. Stop playing. You need to stop playing.
Okay. Yeah, I thought she was talking about
No.
listened to it multiple times, but I never heard the El Paso County.
Yeah,
But I was in my wax melt. If you like wax melts, check out my friend Nay's company, by the way, because I was just changing mine. And the link is in the chat. But go ahead, Bendy.
Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm rewinding it. All right, hold on. Let me see. And
No, you're
freaking
probably
out.
right.
Yeah, I started freaking out, and I was like, okay, now. I said, so then I started telling the people, I don't remember any of this, but they told me, they said, you started telling us, hey, blah, 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 about the, you know, whatever.
When she got to Colorado, right? Because she's in the hole for a couple of days and didn't sleep. You want me to press play while you look at the transcript?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
like, oh, you just got here, and I'm looking at them. I said, if one more person says to me, you just got here, and I've been sitting over here for 4 days. It's crazy.
You have 1 minute left.
Oh, we have 1 minute left. That's crazy. I was feeling it too because I could not sleep. I was tossing and turning all night until I found out, like, you wrote me. I was like, man, I need to send her some money so she has some money, something.
I'm glad you did that because, listen, you want me to hang up and call you back?
Yeah, hang up and call me back. Okay. I'm just going to hang up. Alrighty.
The caller has hung up. You may start the conversation now.
Now, I just want to say, that's so cool. You can call me back. So Tecia can call her back. And this just doesn't sound like a friendship to me. Maybe I'm wrong, and I'm not judging. I love everybody. I don't care who people are attracted to. It just would be interesting. A lot of people, though, kind of change maybe their preference when they're locked up. But she, like, tossing and turning, can't sleep, wanted you to have money. I don't know. It just, there's more, but it sounds.
Yeah, she's ridiculous. So she says, hold on. Hit people with caps on their brains and monitor that when you leave someone in a room like that. I mean, I'm sure somewhere somebody has done that, but like, that's the same shit I was doing in El Paso County when I got thrown in that room like that. I was segregated for 13, 14 months by myself. You a lie. Play with me, Tecia. I'll come with receipts every single time.
Mal, thank you for being a member for 26 months. You a lie.
You a lie, Tecia. You a lie, a lie, a lie.
I agree, Allie. Either it's her girlfriend or another Amy Lang.
She's already got her emailing and calling people, so.
Yeah, calling people for. And hey, Mal, by the way, and listen, Pointer Lover says, hashtag not claiming her with the rainbow.
I think the entire human race says not claiming her. You damn demon.
Okay, here we go.
Hello.
I'm just waiting for the misinformation I want to clear up, and I'll get something to say about.
What was I talking about?
We were talking about how I sent you money. I was thinking, oh gosh, she's not gonna have anything, and this is all I can do for her right now.
Yeah, no. So I would have put in a canteen order that day if I would have known, but I didn't know. Like someone told me that you probably would have. I was like, she's probably thinking the same thing. I said,
maybe you should start with thanking her, but whatever.
Yeah, these people can't just probably do some stupid shit. They let me do this. But I had to put it in.
Guilty of crime.
So
She said,
there, you know me.
Refreshing to see a stream that's not politics or riots. Now it's jail calls or prison calls.
No, it's prison calls with Tecia.
Yeah.
Tecia, no manners, have an ass.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I put the order in yesterday, so I won't get to next week. But
no manners, no hygiene, no home training, like Bendy said.
None.
And then the lieutenant that was here last time, I just went up to her. I was like, I saw her, but they kept saying the lieutenant with a different name, and I was like, I don't know who that is. But she had got married, and I didn't know that. So when I see her walk in, and I was like, I called her over, and I was like, hey, look, check it out. They didn't give me nothing. She was like, what? She's like, usually they let you bring a few items, on transport, that's open or whatever. And I was like, girl, I got nothing. So she was like, okay, I got you. So then she went down somewhere and talked to someone, and then within like 2 days, they had brought me some deodorant and shampoo and conditioner. And I was like, thank God. And
fantastic. You can stretch that shampoo and conditioner out for at least 6 months.
This is like a pantry closet for people who are indigent,
Yeah.
So I had told her, I said, I don't mind, putting it back in there for whenever I can, start ordering again and stuff like that. She was like,
oh,
okay,
Tecia.
Sure,
She's like, take a penny, leave a penny. Look at you.
Whatever. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't mind doing that. And then I was like, do you happen to have any hair bows and hair ties in there? She was like, okay, I got you. She brought me 2 hair ties back too. So I went ahead and put a body wash on there to put back in her pantry. And I figured if I do like one or two little items, I could put a conditioner, shampoo next time, and put a deodorant out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I sent you more too. I don't know if you got it yet, but I know you got to start all over.
the case manager, she told me, because she was like, wait, she's like, oh, you have 500. She's like, but then you have 400 because, you know, we took 20%. I was like, I know.
Yeah, I
Wow.
added that.
And
That's
not
how
a
we got it.
single thank you. Look
That's
here.
a lot.
That is a lot. You in great. Tecia, you ain't got no manners, no couth, no home training, nothing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wolfie, I'm back.
And
I love your picture,
welcome
Wolfie.
back, Wolfie. And by the way, this is my own suspicion. I have no idea if this is true or not, but I don't think it had anything to do with nobody gives. Look, Tecia, after you got convicted, nobody cared. We just wanted to know. The prosecutor talked about your calls. So we were interested. Okay. That's the only reason why we got your calls. But believe me, you're not high profile anymore like you think you are. All right. So let me just stop you right there. I'll tell you what I think happened. Remember, you did get a Bendy Monroe, Wolfie. I'll tell you what I think happened. Remember how she was the the lawyer for, and the legal advisor for all the other girls in the Kansas Women's Correctional who were also suing, and it didn't work out in their benefit? That's more than likely why it was a quick rush, get her out. That meaning that I'm sure she had made some enemies in there. And that's why I'm not saying that's why they moved her, but I would imagine that's why they didn't tell anybody. And that's why they changed it. Just in case any of those inmates who might want to have a score to settle couldn't get to her before she got moved because they weren't aware of when she was being moved. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, true. Agree with you. Still can't believe she was a jailhouse attorney, but whatever. Well, stuck on that, but I'll play.
Bless it.
Dang, I dropped my vape.
Conversation about that. So then I'm like, so I was looking at, the whole thing, and she was like, well, you didn't have it all those times. I was like, yes, I did. I said, I got to have account balances in my property. And then after we checked into it for a little bit, she's just like, oh, we never got it. And I'm like, oh, heck no. I sat over that lady. I go, I knew they were embezzling money. She probably thinks I'm nuts.
She probably thinks I'm nuts.
It looked like on their end, like you haven't been receiving any money.
Yeah,
because they're embezzling it. Shut up.
Remember how we always talked about they take that 20%? They were putting it towards my Colorado stuff. They were putting it in their Kansas funds.
Wow.
Yeah, so they'll take that whole forced savings because I added it up. So I was gone for 18, like 20 months. So they're going to take that whole that check from that thingy.
Yeah.
That forced savings that they wouldn't live. They'll take that whole thing when they get here because what was that check? Like $800?
Yeah, it's $800.
They'll take that
because the state pays to take care of you.
Because you have court costs and fees and fines for committing murder.
Yeah, it's not embezzling when you owe money. A lot of it. Remember, this was the biggest investigation that El Paso County had seen. If not ever, but for a long time. They said that they were having trouble paying for it.
Yeah. Yes,
Right.
Michelle V. This was just last month.
Yep, it was. Yay, Wolfie.
Oh,
Wolfie found a baby bird, and she was on the phone with me, just not to go too far because we got to, there's things that we have to do tonight. But Wolfie was on the phone with me when a baby bird jumped out of its nest to try to fly here at my house, landed in the water, started to drown. I panicked. I sprinted, ran and got a net, got it out, helped it get back to life, put it back in its nest. It was the whole thing. Gave me a panic attack. It was terrible. But yet my parents were watching because it was all in their front yard at the water. And they're like, I haven't seen you run like that in 20 years. Next day I said, I am so sore. My dad
bless your heart.
My dad said, you sprinted about 6 times back and forth across the yard. He said, I guarantee you the neighbors thought there was a medical emergency. They were outside working because I was panicked. But I didn't act if you would have seen this little guy trying to just live, getting sucked in by the water. It was so scary and it freaked me out. I panicked. I know. And now
Is he
she found
okay
a little
though?
bird.
Is it the bird was the bird okay? Your
Oh my
bird?
God.
No, he
Yes,
didn't make
and
it.
then
Did he?
no. So he
Oh
made
God.
it. He was doing great. And then he tried to fly again and he jumped and landed like in between the slats in the deck and got stuck and no one was out there. And so we had to, give him a burial at sea.
Bless
But
his little. Oh.
it sucks because they build nests. There's another one on my neighbor's dock, like out on the water, and then they try to jump out to fly and they can't fly. They are, you know what I mean? So
You
it's
birds
just
got to be more realistic, okay? Yes, the water is beautiful and it's prime real estate, but y'all got to be back from the water when you're trying to teach your babies to swim or to fly because they don't know how to swim for sure. Jeez, bless.
It was awful. And then Wolfie now got a baby on her birthday. But
oh, happy birthday, Wolfie! Oh, and yes, I did give you a Monroe. I did, but I spiced it up a little just for you.
I haven't seen it, but is it in our chat? Is that like a thing
I
on the
sang.
face? Like a
I sang her happy birthday, Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. I thought like where y'all were sending the pictures back and forth, like you edited it or something, and put a piercing on her. I was like, oh, that's cool. I don't know what you're talking about, but I bet it's cool. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I asked, how do I find out where all that money is? And she was like, you're going to have to do property claims on it or whatever.
Thank you. And Nurse Kristen, thank you. So
yeah,
much.
I would do it. I want to know. Yeah, that's crazy because they shouldn't even be taking your money. Yeah. They shouldn't even be taking from you because it's not even your fault. That's your money. That $800 is your money, which is kind of cool. I need to update your claim from, was it North Carolina? I'm going to have to update that.
I'll tell you about that. They had mailed that to me. They had mailed it to me to fill out. And then the counselor, Miss White there, had me send that paperwork. Remember I told you I finally got that paperwork for the Social Security card? Okay, so she had me send it to her. She copied everything, gave me a proof of address, everything, and we mailed it to the local office in Topeka. But obviously, I'm gone before I could get a response back. So I don't know if I need to, like, I guess I could write the Social Security office.
Yeah, you're going to have to write them. I would write them.
The Topeka office, probably, huh?
Yeah, that's where it's at. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I won't be able to write them until you send me my Kansas stuff. But because all my stamps and everything is in there. And like it's different here with Canteen. You can only fill in 20 lines.
Okay, lady. Enough about the money. Okay.
We have it on a tablet. And if you order 10 cream cheeses, you could get 10 cream cheeses, and you could get.
I'm gonna speed us up for this stuff.
Here you can only do 20 lines. So you think by the time you write, you're like by the time I did mine, I wrote what did I write in there? Shaving cream because I don't have a razor here because they don't know where my razor's at. A magic shaving cream, some other things. By the time you get to hygiene stuff, it was already at line 8. So,
yeah.
Yeah. So and then I had to get I had no brush, so that comb, even though the comb was 13 cents, that still was line.
Yeah, that's added into.
Yeah. So like I said, if you want to order, like one of the lines I put at Reese's. So I put 4 Reese's, but
don't start with the Reese's
but
talk.
that only takes up one line. But like I said, you only got 2 lines.
So as long as it's the same product.
Yeah, so that's why you have to do it just right. If you're going to cook a meal, and you got to get like Mrs. Dash seasoning, peppers, onions. That's already 3 lines there before you even get to your meat. You know what I mean? So you have to be. They don't let you do that. It's like you can order spend your money. It's not bad. It's just you better figure it out. Or if you're ordering chicken, you better go ahead and do all your chicken for the month.
Listen,
you know what I mean? So
if any of y'all have children, let them listen to this part. This is why you don't do crime. Because you only get 20 lines.
Only do it once a week too, right?
On commissary in Colorado.
How to get in contact with Joe and him because Joe,
it's not worth it.
Package, this past package, and it already pulled out of his account.
Oh,
dang. I can't get that package. Yeah, I can't get that package because it's. I don't know if they still do them here. I think they do, but
remember on the tablets there, we could do them.
It's
Yeah.
sped up
Yeah, like
for
that.
this talk. You guys
Yeah,
can
even
go
send
back
messages
and
like,
watch
hey,
with
what
the
do you
no
want in your package?
commentary
And all I did was
again if you
put
want.
everything in the car. In my car.
Jen and I don't want to pause too long. I'm sorry to do it again, Jen, but I just want to tell them that we have talked about skipping over some parts. I did feel like everything really in this, most of it, I could have cut this, I suppose, but most of it was stuff that I wanted us to hear and some things I wanted us to correct and everything before we put it out in full. So, but in the future, we might pick out the most interesting calls and then just put them all out with no commentary, but only go over the ones that talk about the things that we want to talk about.
Yes,
Is that it?
that's all I got.
Okay. Yes. Thank you,
The card.
Andy,
You
for
know,
the
they had to
backup.
put that through DPO, and so he just ordered it that way. But
Oh,
here, I think I have to do online or something. I don't know. So I was like, well, I just have to get used to all the different little changes, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I know, me too on my end.
Because like I said, you could do things a lot easier there with stuff like that, but like it's a little bit more difficult here. Like just to order shoes, we can't put, you only get to do a catalog order once a month here. So like we can't turn that in until June 1st because already this is the May 1st. So that means you won't get it till the first week in July. So that means you won't have shoes until the first week of July. So I asked my friend, because she asked anybody, like, you know, because sometimes they have people who have like when you go to the gym, you can rent gyms. So
Yeah.
that was an issue. Yeah, but I told her to see if there was anything. And then you know what I thought about? I said, man, if I would have known that, we could have told that dude to let that whole order sitting there like he had it sitting that whole time, you know?
Yeah.
What was his name? The one man you talked to?
That what?
Remember the one guy you talked to here in Colorado? He kept saying like, "Aren't you tagged with her
I
name?"
don't even know what she's talking about. She's like, she's lost
Just
right
making
here.
up shit right now. Because Tecia, God.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. Well, yeah, when we were trying to get your stuff, yeah, I do remember.
Yeah. So like, I should have just left it.
Are you able to get all that? Yeah. So you should have.
Let's see. I'm
Remember
gonna
they
see what
refunded
we
it.
can
They
skip.
refunded it. Remember?
Oh. So when you lose all that then?
Lose all what?
Because you got a refund for all that?
For the Colorado stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but I was saying though, you know, if I would have known, I could have been like, yeah, just hold on to it there, you know.
You're right. You could have just left it.
Because then
You should have just left.
I came back with shoes and and sweatpants and shorts.
Right. So you can't have shoes until June?
Yeah, because they have a catalog. See, like I was like, I at least need my TV and hair products, like at least the stuff that you know.
You don't give a
guess
shit
you
about
do, you
hair
know?
products. Stop
Yeah,
playing
I mean,
with
wouldn't it
these
just be easier
people.
for them to just put it in there with you?
You don't even wash your
That's what I
hair.
thought, but no.
Here she talks
Oh my
about her
gosh, now you got to
lawsuit.
depend on her times to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Here.
And it's not. And here's the thing: the property lady Williams, she's good. She'll send it all. It's not her to have to worry about. Because she kept like, whenever he would leave out the building, she kept looking all weird. I was like, "What's wrong, Williams?" And she was like, "I don't know why he's acting this way." She's like, "I know how to do my job." And I said, "Williams, it's not you. He's going to be difficult because it's me." I said, he doesn't like that I exposed him. He doesn't like that I sued him. He doesn't like that he brought to light things that they were doing. He can't stand it, so he's going to take this out of me. Because she was going to go get all my stuff out the room while I was on the yard. And then, you know, I wouldn't have known, you know what I mean? Because they know I stayed on the yard the whole time. And then she was going to try to have it packed up and ready to be shipped out within a couple of days. But he was being all like, no.
Oh my gosh, why? That's so ridiculous. He's so ridiculous.
How would you even
Just
know
to make
that?
it harder, you know,
Leticia? They
everything's got to be
scooped
harder
you
with
up
him
and
just
shipped you
to
out.
Take one man
Stop
stab
it.
at you. That's all he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, we have to go through it thoroughly to make sure. So I said, first of all,
No, they have to do that. Colorado can
that's
do
what I
that.
said. That's what I said. I said, it don't matter whether you go through it or not. I said, Colorado has to go through it anyway, inventory it. And I said, the stuff I can't have, they're going to ask me, do I want it here? So I showed
Listen.
fresh women. I said, you treat me horribly around here. I was like, you know, I said, it's not on her gator somewhere watching this go down. You know what I mean?
Remember the
And then
gator?
someone to me in the yard,
Yes.
and I was like, all right, see you guys. They're like, hey, we went to, and I was like, talking about her, and her was like, you know, you can no longer talk to them. You're not a KUOC inmate. But it was like, thank God.
Oh my
serious?
God.
I was like, thank God. He's
Are
like,
you just
"You
making
don't
it up
see
as you
inmates."
go
He was like, "You
along,
don't see
Tecia?
inmates." I'm thinking,
It sounds
okay,
like
whatever,
it.
douchebag.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what it is.
What? That's so petty. that's literally petty stuff. All of them are petty though. Seriously.
Yeah.
I don't
I
want
am
to skip
so
anymore.
I've been praying and praying. I was literally at my last wits with my patients. I really was. I was just like, I can't even handle this anymore. I've been like trying to hold. I mean, you know how like you're at that, like when you're really sad and you can't, like you're at the edge where you're just gonna cry at any time.
Yeah.
That's where I was at work. I was like, I was trying so hard. Anytime anybody wanted to talk to me, I'm like trying to hold it in and trying. You know, it was crazy. I was literally at my.
There was not much more I could do either. I was just like, and everybody, the
She's
more and more
making
they kept
herself
being all
sick
weird
over
about,
Tecia.
and then hot and Hades, and they're, going crazy about these jellos, and then the girl had wrote on the last BNP now that she's allowed to go down to the kennels and watch, or the officers are allowed to go down to the kennels and watch her jellos. And I'm like, this is the stuff that they put on there, and everybody else, you see how those people let me die, they know my character there.
Yeah.
Everybody
You know my
this was getting done
character.
wrong,
We know
so,
your
yeah,
character,
they all
Tecia.
love
I'm
you.
sure they do.
Yeah. They all
Nobody
love
loves
you
you
there.
there.
I know, that's why I was gonna rewind it because I heard
Stop
that
playing with
earlier.
you see how those people let me die, they know my character there.
Sorry, I didn't mean.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that it was getting done wrong, so.
Oh yeah, they all love you there. Yeah, they all love you there. I signed all that.
Yeah, I read those. And if I'm just, how do
They all love you there. Okay.
I thought you were oppressed and they were petty and they were mean to you.
And it was terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. You're so horrible and you had to sue.
Yeah, exactly.
write them back one more time and just tell them I'll check in with them, like, every couple months or something
Yeah.
when I can. But yeah,
Yeah,
I was reading some of them, and I was dying laughing about Abby saying that her girlfriend cut her hair off and she's her man now. I'm like, oh, no,
Yeah.
she's a lost.
I knew you would get a kick out of that.
I said, she's a lost. I said, Sam has been lost and cut her hair off. Her hair is long. Oh, well, I guess.
Yeah. Rita's really upset. I think
Oh.
it eases the pain.
I feel really bad.
I mean, she's like, can you, will you?
I'm sorry, you guys. I meant to cut this part out, and I guess I overlooked it the second time. I cut another part out about this, but it's about self-harm. It is in the video, if you guys want to hear, but I just think that it's best to skip past it, just especially in case. I'll put a warning on the video when I put it out. I don't know what the people in the chat have been through in their lives and things like that, and I just don't want to, I like to just skip it. I meant to. I even told you, Jen, that I was, which I did cut out.
She did. She did
Yeah.
say she's cutting it out. Look.
I did cut out a big part,
You
but I guess I
probably-
missed
you
this
did-
one.
Look, sometimes after a while you've been doing this, you listening to Tecia drone on and on and on and on and on and on. Sometimes you just miss stuff. Don't beat yourself up about it.
Yeah, I just don't want to cause anybody harm. You know what I mean?
No, I know you don't. I know you don't. It was on an accident, you guys.
I skipped it. When I post the other video, I'll put a warning in it just so that anybody watches will know, and you guys can go back and listen if you want to.
There you go.
Oh.
Thank you, Bendy.
You're welcome, babe.
It's like most people in there have a whole, crazy
Yeah.
lifestyle going up and stuff like that. And so she just
Yeah, everybody
goes
has.
off. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody has their story, and that's what I understand. I get it. People have their, that's what some people don't understand. Which I want to tell you so much. Huh?
One thing's really good is Mr. Clicky from Kansas is gone.
Oh, really?
Remember him that would click and hang up on us?
Thank you for
Always
using
on my-
Securus.
Oh.
Goodbye. Hello, this is a few. Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hello.
I think I just called you one more time because I had got
Yay! You can call me anytime. Anytime, day, night, any of it. I'm so happy. You have no idea how happy I am. I can talk to you now.
See what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm curious, why couldn't she talk to her before?
I think they could, but just not like however much they wanted, where now they can talk like all day.
Okay.
She does call her bestie here.
Oh, man.
I'm so happy. I remember you telling me it's going to be so different in Colorado. I'm like, yay, I get to talk with my bestie.
I know. I told you, girl. I mean, every place comes with its struggles. Don't get me wrong. There's bad in every place, especially during incarceration, But
Yeah.
that place was just so much that it was so much that you couldn't even not even a perfectly normal person can take it. And I ain't nowhere near normal. So it was just
None of us are normal.
Yeah, but you have to stay strong all the time. And I'd be like, I'm so girls though. I really do too. Those are really good people that I got. Those are lifers, and
So,
This is a tablet call.
I had that friendship with them that long. It was basically like Michaela and me, Michaela and Abby all the time, and me, and so Michaela's a wiser and she was a wiser. And she was all the time together at church. We did all church stuff and had to deal with the chaplains and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, you make those relationships because you're with people every day, looking at the shoulder and looking around. And in all reality, if I could have brought people with me, I would have brought Michaela and Tria. But Abby doesn't have that long, but Abby keeps having to stay there because Abby's a life.
She's talking about her friends back in the other jail.
So mission, doing dumb shit, and then it was her stepdad. He was molesting her and her little sister, so they went through it.
Yeah, it's so sad because everybody, it's sad when people end up where they are. Like, yeah, you guys are in prison and all that. It's sad because everybody has their story with it,
Yeah,
and it's sad.
Because, you have to look at it in the mindset, like you heard me and Michaela had talked before, and she's like, Taylor, I don't even remember, and I said, girl, who are you talking to? She's like, I don't even really remember a lot of stuff. She's like, I think I did 1 minute. Then her and her cousin one day just went and set the house on fire and killed him.
By the way,
Wow.
I'm not watching chat anymore because I'm watching the transcript. If there's anything else I missed, I want to catch it before you guys hear it. So just so you guys know, that's why I'm not in there. And Jen, if you want me to pause at any point, let me know. I'll turn it down when we get to here in a second, but I'm going to let it go fast through this. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not saying any of these, I'm not condoning any of that, saying any of it's right. I'm just saying,
Right.
I got closer than two girls because, we would always be out there if we looked around at everybody else, we looked around and been like, oh my God, we really, the only place we don't belong there because we don't be doing that stuff they be doing all the time. We don't be thinking about going to go get high or acting a fool, all that. That was an incident in their life that set off something that was a moment in their life that they just done something stupid,
Exactly. That's what I've been telling you. That's why I would never judge anything because, you don't know where their mindset was at that moment because we all have moments. It's just a matter of how you react in that moment. None of us are perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I got
And
something
that's
to
the way
say.
I
Hold
see it.
on.
It's like I have moments, but it's like everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad. It's sad that she went through that. Yeah, they all miss you so much too. They're
and they didn't count.
Yeah. So everybody has their moments, but most people don't. Even I have my moments. I can be a jerk sometimes. I can be an asshole. When I was young, I could be selfish. If you've messed with somebody I love, I'm gonna go raging bitch on you. And whether it's on YouTube in real life or not, again, everybody has their moments, but most people don't hurt children when they have their moments, and not just hurt them. I'm talking about one of the most horrific crimes I've ever seen again, so don't you dare talk about it like that. Oh, everybody has their moments. You don't know what somebody's going through. You don't know how. Are you serious? Do you know how many friends and family members I know that have been through serious fucking trauma? That is not an excuse. Everybody does have their moments. I get it. And we all can get mad and be rude to the people we love or maybe take things too far against the people we hate, right?
Right.
But this is,
right.
That don't minimize what she did.
Right. Exactly. Look, we all have a story. And like What Are You Saying said, most of us, that chapter doesn't include killing a child. So get bent, Tecia. I don't care. I'll judge the fuck out of you. And I don't feel bad about it at all. No regrets.
Yeah. Same.
All right. I'll be back. Okay. I just have to do something really quick. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, but things happen. Yeah. We all have souls, and God forgives, and that's the way I look at it. And I want to live with God, and that's He forgives, and I do too.
I know.
I guess.
When did these crazy people fight? They found out the same day you did.
Yeah. No.
That's us, guys. Sorry. When these crazy people find out, that is YouTube finding out that she was moved. Just so you guys know.
Oh, it was. I want to tell you all about this. I don't know if they'll get these phone out. They're going to know. They're like, oh, we're going to find. She's like, we're going to find out who's telling her all this. I'm like, oh, God.
Tell me why.
Did I tell you? Should I tell you anyway? I mean, they're going to stalk. I mean, if they're going to find out, they're going to find out. But they're going to stalk me so bad.
Who's telling me all what? You mean the stuff you told me to pass?
Yeah, those people.
Oh, okay, I got you.
You get what I'm saying?
So they're trying to get something here so they can find that out.
They already have one info about you all posted yesterday. And the lady that you've been talking to since she has blonde hair, mentioning names. I don't know if that's really her name.
Kit, this is you, babe. But I get mentioned too. And yeah.
But she has a YouTube. You know what I'm talking
I
about?
haven't talked to anybody down here. YouTube.
She's like an older lady.
Are you talking about Allie?
No.
Allie?
No.
Older lady.
That's me, which you guys know. I did not talk to her in 2020. That's Kit. I talked to her when she moved to Kansas, and I added her on the Getting Out app to confirm that she moved. She blocked me, so she messaged me several times talking about our lives. I guess maybe this girl told her about it, and then finally I had the chance to respond. And I will say my communications with Tecia, there's not a ton on the channel about it because I just don't want to do like put that out on my channel like that, grow from that, whatever. But they weren't nice. There were some pretty tense, conversations where I kind of demanded that she should take accountability and tell the truth. And she basically told me, who the hell are you? I don't know you anything. And I kind of thought, well, she's right about that. And I've told you guys the story many times, but they weren't super nice conversations. I will say that. So, but okay, here we go.
No, she's an older lady, blonde hair. She has a YouTube kid. I'll just tell you. She's been writing you, and she put your letters up. An older lady, her
I never
parents.
nobody had letters.
Well, in the past. It was in the past. She, her parents died. Her mom died of cancer.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, I know
Kit,
you're
she
talking
brought
about.
that
Yeah.
up.
Okay, don't trust her. Just saying. She's gonna write you.
No, I have never. Yeah, I have already known she's done what she did in the past. So I've never like given her any kind of information about anything because I know that's how she is.
Yeah, she's two-faced, really bad. Yeah.
Okay, that's not true.
I like watching this, but I also want to see what they're going to say too. So it's hard to like walk away, but also I want to see what they're saying about us. So it's like.
Hi, nice to meet you. Now I get to hear directly, and I can straighten up a few things that you have wrong.
But what?
Yeah, so she sent me a message and she was like, this was on May 11th.
Hey, Muscles, thank you for being a member for 7 months.
I went to send an e-card on getting out, and you went there. Take care and have a great day.
She didn't.
Okay,
no, she's
so
lying. She's freaking lying. She has it on her thing that she was going to reach out to you. She talks crap about you, and she's lying.
Are you talking about?
It's Kid on there. I know she doesn't use her real name because she tries to keep.
That it skips because I blocked out her name, and I will continue to do that. And I would even block out, like I told you guys at the beginning, if you're coming in late, we don't know who she's talking to. We're not going to know. I'm not going to put that out there because I wouldn't do anything with it. I know most of you guys wouldn't, but there could be somebody who would. And I don't think that would be fair. She hasn't committed a crime. At the end of the day, she's very worried that she's going to be stalked. And I don't want her to fear that. And I know that Jen and I are going to work really hard to make sure that nothing is put out like that. That's why right now I'm watching the transcript and not watching the chat. Oh, Abellis, thank you. And welcome to the members. Thank you, Abellis, for gifting memberships. Okay. Here we go.
Keep her stuff quiet. But yeah, the blonde lady, the older lady. Her mom passed away. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
mom and dad. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Because she said she was going to write you on there and find out about why you got moved.
I didn't tell her anything.
Y'all,
I said,
hold up. Wait till you hear this, though. You guys are going to find this super interesting.
About the whole predator thing. So I said, yeah, girl. And so I said, I came back on Monday. Praise God, I'm out that hole. I put it because she had sent me that in a reply, and I said I'm thankful to be back. The predator, and it says back in a clean place. And then I went on to talking about what I had ate that day or whatever. I didn't say anything else other than that.
Oh, okay.
I said, yeah, I want to be a dog handler, just get some therapy, trying to be a dog handler. Anyway, happy Mother's Day to you too. And I said, bye.
No, okay. Yeah, she wrote on there, she said on there, who's ever telling her about all this, you're just I've been talking to her for this long and you all don't understand. And, something about.
That's true. None of us could understand. They were friends. She believed her in the beginning and has talked to her since 2020. No one would understand.
So don't get, what we've been talking for 5 years.
Duh,
so all you trying to whatever, her and I have been talking for this long. And I'm like, ooh, I'm going to knock you out right now. I mean, she seems like a nice lady, but
for 5 years.
Yeah.
But you got to think how she is. What she was trying to say in there, like, she was trying to make it seem like, oh, she knows more type thing. Like, oh, I've been doing this and I know more, or whatever. You know what I mean?
How do you
But,
know?
yeah.
She's telling you about
she
it.
asked me specifically why I didn't
Listen
give
to
her
this.
any,
Good, because that's what she wants, and that's what she wants to put out and talk about.
specifics or whatever. Yeah.
I was like, should I tell her about that? You know, because I'm just looking out for you, you know.
Yeah, no, you could tell me.
Oh,
Remember,
okay.
you're talking about the lady that was like doing that with the phone calls out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I already know she's like that. That's why when I do stuff like that, I do stuff. If I want it told, I'll say something to people like that because I want it told. Why instead of people getting a certain narrative that they think is their narrative and
That they want.
narrative.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
that's how
what?
you do.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Something that they don't want, but
Listen to this.
you know how we
That's
talk about
why.
it.
Yeah, because the reason I tried that approach was that she did that to be like, oh man, they took her back to a good place and make them even.
Oh, they're mad about that. They are so mad that you're back there.
Here, I'll pause here for a moment, but because they're going to go on to, she's going to say, I've been doing this my whole life. I manipulate people. I tell them
You
one thing
idiot.
when I want them to know something else.
Didn't we? We already said that's what she did. So again,
Yeah.
Tecia, what
We
are you
know
really
that.
mad about us? What are you really mad at us for? And listen, to the lady that's on the phone calls with her, I don't blame you for hanging around and listening to what we say. We're fucking hilarious. I'd hang around too.
No. Well, here, right in this part 7, they're talking about Kit, but they're going to talk about us some. And
They already talked about you a little bit. She's like, I
yeah,
don't want to
well,
be over there listening to what they have to say.
yeah, but I
wanna
want to
hear what
know.
they exactly, because we're hilarious. I don't blame you. I'd stick around and listen too. You don't got to tell Tecia how funny we are. It's fine.
Yeah. And then like the memes, like where the one where she's in the dorm and the poster of me on the wall and stuff.
Oh my God.
The Wolfie made. Pan Man says, hang on, Allie. She owes the whole fucking world an explanation. So you weren't in the wrong. She's a disgusting piece of shit faking child murder. Don't ever feel bad about calling her out. I know that you're right, but in the moment, I kind of felt put in my place a little bit because I did push back some because I was like, wait a minute, when are you going to tell the truth? When are you going to be held accountable for the truth? Because she lied up till the end. You know, all these different stories. It was never just the truth. And at that point, I'm still like, I will always wonder what actually happened with certain parts of this case. It's like very close to my heart. And at that point in time, I still had this belief that maybe one day the truth would come out if there was nothing for her to lose. But she responded to me, who are you? I don't know you anything. Like, this is why I felt put in my place. She said, something like, how do you know I don't go back to my room and cry when I'm alone? I'm in prison. I have to put on a tough face. But if you think I don't regret things and you don't think I think about things, you're wrong. And I just was like, okay. Like, I don't know. I don't remember what else I talked to you guys then. But yeah, I kind of like had to accept that answer. And I was also not to ever, like with Letecia, don't ever get it twisted. I know exactly who she is. But in that moment, it did kind of, honest to God, like, I got to be real with y'all. It kind of shocked me that she even would say that, because she's always made so many excuses. And, you know, it's never been like actual real. I never felt like she actually gave a fuck about any of those kids except Harley.
And
Yeah.
not and only as it you know, Harley was only as, you know, she only cared about Harley in so much that, you know, go to church and do the right thing because it makes me look good. Fuck off, Letecia.
Yeah.
Also, Letecia, 7 Lilies says you're a cochina, and you are.
Hey, lunch lady. I wish you could get the appeal too, Little Red. 7, what's that, Bendy?
A cochina, like nasty, gross.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
like a pig.
Yeah, I will never forget it either.
None of us
No, she
will.
does. But she doesn't have anything to gain. But I mean, is there even a little part of humanity in there that cared? I don't know. I can't. It's hard for me to accept that, I guess. That
She's a demon, babe.
I don't know. I know.
Listen, I love that you have a big heart. I do. And I love that it's not, Nothing Letecia says, even if she took full accountability, okay, and not even but not to us, but like us being the public, but to Al
Right.
and to Landon and to Lena, okay, even if she took full accountability, nothing she does is going to bring Gannon back. Nothing that she says, no amount of apology is going
Yeah, I
to
know.
undo the
Of
evil
course.
that she did. And the fact that she hasn't even attempted, the fact that she actually put that family through more BS during the time that she was sitting in jail awaiting trial, all the stunts she pulled, all the shenanigans she pulled. I don't give a rat's fat kneecap what she puts in a text. The regret that she has is the regret that she got caught, the regret that she got arrested. It's all of the regret for herself. It has nothing to do with anybody else. I can't stand her.
Right. No, I get that for sure. But I
And
mean,
I understand in that moment when
that
she
though,
said that.
yeah, it was
I
kind of
get it.
shocking because you're like, whoa, you have literally never showed a sign of actually giving a fuck about the truth, about being, all it's been is excuses and lies and blaming everybody else. You know what I mean? So in
Yeah.
that moment, I was taken aback. And Little Red, we are going to hear about Harley in a second. That is something that I'm going to correct when we get there. And then there was one other comment. Where's it at? Hold on, Bendy. I got to read this to you. It was Nancy, crazy Nancy, that just keeps on. She said, Allie, just remember, she doesn't always tell the truth. When she does, she doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, to the lady on the phone, do you see how she's got you convinced that she's telling you the truth? You know her better than anybody. Don't you think it's possible that she reached out to one or two other people and told them the exact same thing? I'm telling you right now, when somebody shows you who they are, you believe them. Now, that's just my advice. That's it. That's all.
True. And tell the truth. I know that you're right, but just in that moment, it was like shocking.
Exactly.
But believe me, I know exactly. Like, I got her number. You know what I mean? I know what she's all about. Okay.
All right, let's get going because I can't stay for very much longer. I can maybe do like 10 more minutes and then I gotta go.
Okay. Do you want me to just let it play after and the end and you in the chat, or what should we do?
Just keep playing it, and when I gotta get down, I'll get down.
And then what do I do?
You keep
What do you
playing
wanna- how
it,
do you wanna
babe.
do
You
that?
keep playing it. You're perfect.
Okay.
You're funny all by yourself. I promise.
No, I know, but I mean, and then tomorrow we'll just go, if you're ready, which it's
I'll be
Father's Day. If
ready.
you're not, that's understandable and acceptable. But then we'll be on Jen's channel for the next day. Well, it's Father's Day because I don't know if you're.
That's valid. That's understandable and acceptable. Well, thank you, hon. I'm just teasing.
I'm just saying, it's understandable if you're like, even though you've said, "Hey, I'm going to do them in the morning." If you were like, "Dude, I can't," I'd be like, "Yeah, of course, it's Father's Day." You know what I mean?
It's fine. I'm going to get up early. Look, the truth is, this is why I'm rushing. Okay. I just let you guys know. Chicky Nuggy Pot Pie is having her first spend the night with Granny. Okay. And so that's why. That's it. That's all. I want to be here, but I made a promise after I'd already promised to Allie, but she wanted to sleep in the big bed and it just made me so sad. It's hard to say no to her. Okay. It is what it is. I'm weak when it comes to that kid. Okay.
Hey, who wouldn't be? Okay. All right. Let's press play because I want you to hear as much as you can. Okay.
They want you treated so badly, like Kelly and all them. She already put in your intake paperwork.
Oh, that was me.
Oh man, they took her back to a good place, and
they're mad about that. They're so mad that you're back there. They want you treated so badly, like Kelly and all them. She already put in your intake paperwork.
Lies.
And they were like, yeah, she's moved back, and they showed your, when you do MA search and you can see that's your old picture. And they showed that. I'm like, oh my God, these people are really stalkers. Like, dude, it hasn't even been like a week yet.
That's not stalking. Stop right there. Stop right there. I'm so sick of that word being used. And it means nothing now because it's overused and it's used incorrectly. Let me explain something to you, ma'am. Letecia belongs to the state of Colorado. Even when she's serving time physically in Kansas, she still belonged to the state of Colorado. Okay. We followed that case. We covered that case. We care about Gannon. All right. Did I say some things about Tecia? I don't give a rat's fat kneecap where she is. I don't care. Colorado is going to work out just as good for her as Kansas did. You know why? Because Letecia is a demon. Okay. And she's going to come up with some kind of BS excuse why somebody did something to her that they didn't actually do. And she'll be the victim all over again. Get bent. I don't give a fuck where she's at. How about that? Tell Tecia that. Tell her exactly like that.
Okay, but my thing is, don't you dare say that I want her to be treated so badly. That is a lie. That is absolutely a lie. Every time I have went through the paperwork for her lawsuit, most of the things I didn't believe. But let me tell you what, I said plenty of times that I thought inmates should not be mistreated, regardless of who they are, and definitely not sexually. Okay, I've stood up for that over and over and over again.
Yeah, both of us did. Shut up, Tecia. We did defend you on that. I said specifically, Allie defended you. And you know what I said? I remember this. We both said this, that at the end of the day, right, you are at a high risk. You know why you're at a high risk? Because you're a freaking liar who's lied about SA. That makes you a target because people won't believe you. And I said that was wrong.
Yeah,
I said it should be investigated. Allie said it should be investigated. You need to stop lying to Tecia. Listen, if you are going to run back and tell Tecia what the fuck I'm saying, get it correct, ma'am. And in fact, it's out here, right? The internet is forever. It's on a live. You can play it for her in the background.
Well, yeah,
let her hear me loud and clear exactly what I said.
But also, she just named me and straight up lied. I never said I wanted her treated badly. No. I wouldn't want that. I've spoken out about it, about how we can't do that to our inmates because there are people in there who are not in there for life, who haven't taken the life of a child. And
exactly.
That's just that. So don't you dare.
There's a difference between us wanting you punished and wanting because you should be punished. That's what prison is for. That's different. Stupid bitch.
Absolutely.
And let me just make this also clear to whoever is reporting it back to Letecia. Okay. I don't give a rat's fat kneecap that a child murderer doesn't think highly of me. Okay. That's it. I don't care that she doesn't want to be my friend. I don't care that she doesn't like me. I don't care what a child murderer's opinion is of me. I'm good that she don't like me. Because guess what? The friendship door, Letecia, is closed.
How
about that?
I'm going to press play because I think your time is even closer. We made it 1 minute. I'm sorry, but this was a big part. So.
Well, she pissed me off.
Well, yeah, I get it because I've been mad since I heard it. And there's other things I want to correct too. Okay, here we go.
And I like, oh my God. Intake, so I haven't done nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm like, wow. And then they're like, oh, we're shocked. She doesn't have any disciplinaries, only one. And we know that she sold those pants, and we're going to find out. I don't want to say more than that, but I'm like, oh, God.
See, don't be scared, number one. I don't want to say more than that. And we're going to find out what? We already found out everything. We know that she had disciplinary reports because of the lawsuit. Kansas included them in their responses to Letecia. Go watch the live. There's a playlist on my channel. I'm going to drop it in the chat. Actually, I'll pin it in the description after this. Anybody who wants to educate themselves on the facts of what happened in Kansas, it's in black and white, straight from records request. Actually, Little Red got us the lawsuit paperwork. Everything that was filed goes out publicly. We have the documents. You can see clearly what happened. She did get in trouble. That on the intake paper was only within the last year or something. It wasn't in totality of all the time she's been in there. Okay.
I don't have any disciplinaries here.
No, not there. You only had one from Kansas, and they were shocked.
Oh, yeah.
They were shocked. I'm like, she's gonna try to get all your they're gonna be, if they get this call, they're gonna be like, oh, now we know. Because she's like, oh, we're gonna get the phone call. We're gonna find out who's telling her. And I'm like, oh God.
Oh God.
That's exactly what she said too. I'm like, well, you know what? I'm moving by you, and I'm just gonna go mind my business and be by you. So it doesn't matter, whatever.
Oh my God. Listen, I don't care who you are, really. I don't want to know your name. I don't want to know anything about you. Okay. And I don't even care that you're telling Letecia what it is we're saying about her. I just wish that you tell her accurately. That's it. That's all.
Yes. Exactly.
Talk shit about me. At least get it right. That's it. That's all I care about. Letecia doesn't want to be my friend. Oh no. What am I going to do? Nothing.
And please understand that you are not going to get the facts from this person, but I'm about to give them to you, baby girl.
Mm.
There's some things that she does have wrong, and I can't wait for you guys to hear how.
All right,
Tecia
let's
spins
do it.
If they get my info, then I guess, and they know who told you, then I guess whatever, right?
I should write her back and be like, I should write
Me
her
to
back
not
and be
with
like,
her. I'm telling you
gonna do
straight
that.
up because I love you and all that. Do not trust that lady. She talks so much crap about you. It's not even funny. That what?
I should write her back and be like, oh, by the way, I was going to tell you who's getting this stuff is, and just make up something crazy.
You should.
Tell her what
Mess
you
with her.
think it is.
See, that would work
Because
if
she's
we
like,
were the
yeah, I'm
kind
gonna
of
find
people
out
you
why
think
she,
we
you know,
are.
I thought, oh,
That would only work if we were like you. See, that's the difference between me and you,
and
Letecia.
Right.
Us and you, Letecia. We're not those people. I don't actually care I don't care about the identity of the person. I just wanted to hear what this person is telling you because I think it's
Yes,
funny.
exactly. It's more
That's
about the
it.
content of the conversation.
I don't give a
and
shit
guess-
about who you are. I don't care. Tell her everything. But
Well, I'll tell you.
tell her the truth and make sure you tell her honestly. I know damn right well there is at least 1 or 2 times that me and Allie have said some things and read Letecia for absolute filth. You know you chuckled. It's okay.
You know, you chuckled. Well, here's the thing. Like, a lot of stuff comes with you get some information about these callers. I would not put it out there only because we talked about it so many times. You know, I don't believe many of you guys would ever do anything, but somebody might. And I'm not going to be responsible for that. Bindi doesn't want to be responsible for that. That's that. We wouldn't do that. So you got it wrong. But
you got it wrong.
okay.
We're not those people. That's the difference between us and you.
Yes, exactly.
We're also not child murderers. So there's
I'm gonna try
difference.
not.
Okay,
I'm gonna try not to pause as much because we got like 30 minutes left, and I don't want to. I want to try to get through it. Okay, ready?
Yes, go.
Okay.
on your video, it says conversation with a killer. I'm like, really? You're huh?
She's
I'm like,
really bored, huh?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, you're trying to be cool with her and act like you're cool with her and you care about her, and you're going to put something like that. That kind of stuff really, really makes me mad. Like, it really upsets me bad, you know?
But the crazy thing about it is, like, I don't know how people are. Like, you can't play someone who already knows how to do mind games herself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, when I used to do mind games back in my time, you know what I mean? Because that's how I adapted, especially through my early years in my 20s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I already knew that's how people were. So I'd be like sitting back calculating and thinking like, okay, and I'll say something and then I'll tell one person one thing and then another person a different thing. That way, whatever gets out, I know who's that person. You know what I'm saying? And girl, I've been doing this for years. I used to do that shit at work because I feel like
that way you would know who's saying what.
Yeah, because I couldn't stand people at work. They'd be talking about everybody.
I can't
been
stand
doing
that
this
crap.
for
like,
years.
I was so close on writing her. I was gonna be like, you know what, this about her. And you think that you have
always say, pray for her. Just keep praying for her.
I know you calm me down a lot. You calm me down so many times.
She lost her mom. She lost her dad. She's hurt.
Yeah.
So she's taking out her hurt on other people, and that's what she's doing. And like, it took me a long time to grow in this. I'm telling you, if it wasn't Jesus Christ, I couldn't say that. Talk to them. But like, she's hurting. The devil using her, and she's thinking that she's getting clout and people and friends and love and all that.
That's not love.
Yep.
And that's not love by having a YouTube and talking crap on people. That is not like, I'm just sitting here like, I can't believe these people actually do that. Like they, ever since all this is going on, I'm like, I actually witnessed all this two-face stuff. I'm like, I can't believe this. Like, this is crazy,
Yeah, like
because you don't really see it. Huh?
Somebody wrote me named Brandon Strausser, right? I think it was a big person, right? You know what I mean? So anyway, I wanted to see what they say. So they wrote me in advance, and they said, hold on, where's the message they sent me? Hold on.
Listen to this.
Right here.
I told you about this, Jen.
Oh, wait, I'm just figuring this thing out. Inbox. Okay, hold on. Brandon Strausser. Okay. He says, I waited so long to talk to you. What's up? I'm Brandon, but I go by Shay. But my name is Brandon.
I mean, your name is Letecia, but you go by Lil Tay.
Oh, they're playing games.
Maria.
I'm Brandon, but I go by Shay.
Sorry. Here, it's gonna go very fast. This part.
Let her have it. Just let
But
her.
my name is Brandon. Yeah, he said, okay, whoever is playing games said this. They said,
Oh, they're playing games.
Oh, wait, no. He said, I was born April 84, and I was in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
The Indiana thing, guess who's from Indiana?
Who?
Eddie Lang.
Oh. So anyway, so we went on talking whatever. So I wrote back to
Listen.
Sushi, like, hey, how do I know you're real? Send me a picture with 4 fingers, hold up 4 fingers, whatever.
Yeah.
So then I sent another reply after that because I forgot to say whatever. And I said, oh, by the way, if this is Penny Lane, girl, don't ever write me again.
Uh-oh.
They
The
laughed
friendship-
over that.
Oh, they sure did. The friendship door has closed, Amy Lang. I know you're sad.
Yeah, Amy Lang, she thinks just because somebody wrote her from the same state, she said, I told him to send me a picture with 4 fingers. How do I know you're real? You're from this state. Amy Lang is from that state. Don't ever message me again if you're Amy Lang.
Oh my God.
Listen
Okay,
to her laugh
Detective
at the
T.
end. Listen to her laugh right here.
Okay.
Hold on.
So then I sent another reply after that because I forgot to say whatever. And I said, oh, by the way, if this is Penny Lane, girl, don't ever write me again. I know.
I can't even do
And
it.
like crazy people, they're probably going to be like, oh, shit, it's Penny Lane all private. Like, oh, look at here. I tried to tell her my name is Brandon, but yet I'm Shane. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a lot of people that want to mess with you, so you already know that. That's why I'm like, well, watch out.
I'm doing the same thing.
Good.
Thanks for using monitoring.
I got to send in your paperwork last night.
Oh, you saw that good. That's what I put on the screen.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
By
there
the way, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to get down. Letecia, and your friend over there. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but the not guilty by reason of insanity is an affirmative defense. Okay, that means Letecia admitted to killing Gannon. She actually confessed to it, although she blamed Maria Sanchez, her alter. Yeah, maybe you should have watched the trial, okay? Because the truth is the truth, whether you're her friend or whether you're not her friend. The fact of the matter is, Letecia Stauch is a child killer. She is a convicted child killer. She admitted to killing a child. That's exactly what the not guilty by reason of insanity defense is. Okay? Just putting it out there. Jesus. Ugh. All right. I got to get down. Allie, thank you for having me up, babe. I'm sorry. I normally don't like to bail.
Okay.
You know I
No,
don't.
I
How much more
understand.
do you, but you will
bailing too.
definitely get through this a lot quicker without my big mouth up here.
No, I would be bailing too to hang out with her, and she's not my granddaughter. If she wanted to hang out with me right now, I'd be like, bye guys, sorry. We'll do this at another time. So do not apologize.
Okay. All right.
And
I'll be in
it's
the
only
chat though.
okay, because it's just a 5-minute, I think, and then a 15-minute or something, and it's done.
Also, P.S. Letecia, the friendship door is permanently closed. I don't care that you don't like me, because guess what? I don't like you either. So don't join my fan club, bitch.
Well, I hope you guys have the best night and so much
Thank
fun.
you.
And try to hang
Thank
out and
you.
listen if you can.
I will. All right.
Okay.
Bye, you guys. Thanks for
Yeah,
having
talk
me.
to
Good
you
night. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so now we have more though, and like I said, I have some things that I would like to clear up too. So, okay,
Press 1 to refuse charges. Thank you for using
4 minutes
security.
left.
You may start the conversation now.
Hey,
Hello.
girl, these crazy people online are crazy.
Oh my God, I told you.
They done called up here pretending to be me calling hotlines reporting shit.
These crazy people online are crazy. They have already called up here pretending to be me. Who in the hell is doing that? Not I. Okay. Would not ever do that. Not an idiot. Okay. People, they can pretty easily find out who's calling if there was someone pretending to be you. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm kind of thinking maybe it didn't happen. Regardless, I know it wasn't me. And I know Jen didn't do it. Pretty sure Kit wouldn't. Pretty sure most of you guys wouldn't be calling the prison, pretending to be her, calling hotlines, reporting any fucking thing. That's just so stupid.
You
But here we go.
serious? See, they're already starting there.
Are you serious?
Oh my
They just
God.
called.
Oh my God, no way. Are you serious? No, she's not serious because this is bullshit. It's not true.
They just called me down there to talk to me and was like, "Is everything okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm looking at them like, "What? What?"
What did they?
And they're
What
like-
did they even say?
They're like, "You have an open investigation." I'm laughing. I'm like, what?
0% real.
What?
I said, you talking about the state of Kansas? Because I didn't call her talking about Kansas. I'm like, yeah, I have it on
I
Sunday.
love the transcripts.
And
Keep
she
looking.
was like,
Okay,
no,
go.
here. And I was like, no. And she was like, well, someone called the Priya hotline saying it was you.
Priya.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I'm telling you, they're gonna mess. They want.
That's who they deal with when they report SA. Now here she says, I'm telling you, they're going to mess with you.
Like,
And I was like, no. And she was like, well, someone called the Priya hotline saying it was you.
oh my gosh, that's crazy. I'm telling you, they're gonna mess. They want to mess with you, like so.
Do not group us in with that. Nobody wants to mess with anybody. We literally just find it very interesting to follow along and try to figure out how a person can work this way. And many of us are knee deep and have been following for a long time. It's not actually all that abnormal. Like I said earlier, there are people who write books on Bundy, on this, whatever, but would not be messing with anybody. I'm not 12, okay? I'm not going to be spending any of my time doing anything that would get me in trouble, or, you know what I mean? That's just so stupid. No, we're not like making prank phone calls, okay?
Bad. Like, I've been trying to tell you this, you know? That's why I get so mad, because it's like you don't even know really, like, probably about 90%, unless whoever's telling you. But there's like so much I haven't talked to you about yet.
Oh, honey, whoever's telling you, you're the only person she talks to. You are the only person she talks to. At the jail, the only person she talked to for the last several months was Amy Lang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like what they say and stuff. That's why all I tell you is watch who you talk to, you know?
Yeah.
Because and then they put all this stuff out in how they talk about you so bad. They put this
At least
stuff
on
on
the
YouTube.
phone.
So, you know, there's all these people watching. So then all these other people are going to try to mess with you. You know what I mean? They're making them mad inside. So all they want to do is mess with you. And then in the messages, they say, oh, I'm going to write her and tell her this and that. I'm like, really? Why don't you
Who
always
says
leave her
that?
alone?
I don't say
You know?
that.
That's why I want to warn you on it, because I don't trust anybody right at this point with any of it, you know?
Well, you could
It really upsets me. It makes me boil inside, honestly. And it's hard to, like, I'm so scared they're going to get these phone calls and know it's me and then stalk me. But I don't really, like, I'm at a point, though. I'm really at a point, though, that I'm just going to go by and live by you. And, I mean, if they get it, they get it. I mean, I can't help it. I'm going to still talk to you, so I don't care. But, I mean, I do, because I don't want them to stalk me or my family or any of that kind of stuff, because that's what it creates, you know?
But that's not going to happen. Because
No, it's not going to happen, because we wouldn't release it again for the 50,000th time. And I hope that maybe she will have some peace with that, because no interest in putting out your information, stalking you, anything, your family. That is scary that you feel that way. But honestly, when you create such a close friendship with someone like Letecia, you probably should worry about that kind of stuff, honestly. You have to protect yourself, and you have inserted yourself very deeply into something pretty. You've inserted yourself pretty deep in the shit.
we're going to believe and have faith that God knows that that's crazy. God knows that that's creating harm on people. And I know the devil doing it is, but we're just going to be faith that God's not going to let that happen.
Putting harm on people.
And we're going to have
I'm trained. Everyone.
How dare you? How dare you?
I want to talk to you so bad about all of it and how I feel and how stressed I am with all of it, because
I can't see what you out.
It does, because it's like, and plus on the top of it all, I care about you like so much that hurts already, and then on top of it, I have to be afraid that I'm going to be stalked because of these people. You know what I mean? It's like, you all need to get a life. Seriously, go out and do something. Get off your YouTube and stop talking about all these people.
Get a life. Go out and do something. Get off your YouTube. It's funny because it's like, just because you have a true crime interest and you might do YouTube. I listen to YouTube all the time, honestly, showering, driving, whatever. But I have such an eventful life. There are not enough hours in my day. Like, we are constantly traveling, exploring, going to cool places, going swimming, going kayaking, going biking, like all the time. So, I mean, I don't know who you're talking to, but just because you have an interest in like true crime, that doesn't mean you don't have a life. But okay.
That's not what God wants. God wants forgiveness, and that's, we're all souls.
Oh my God.
We all do things wrong in life. You're not perfect either, so get out of here and go live your life. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. That's why I get so mad, you know?
Yeah.
All it does is create, like, people stalking, like, other people and stuff. It's like, you know, I think differently. I think with God, and I think about, like, you know, he forgives, he loves, he's unconditional love. You know what I mean? And these people just hate, and that's not.
Here I am talking to you guys muted, but yeah, I'm sorry. No, many of us don't want to get off YouTube. YouTube has been, all I was going to say is it has been a huge blessing to me, meeting so many of you guys and learning all the things that I've learned, and just with anxiety and, I don't know, people go through shit in life. Sometimes there's time periods where they're not leaving the house as much. It can be a huge blessing to all of our lives. Honestly, I believe that. Doesn't mean you don't have a life outside of that either. That's just dumb. The argument is just stupid. But I mean, I'm definitely not sitting around talking to someone who's going to spend the rest of their life in prison on a prison call all day, every day. I feel like if I was doing that, somebody should probably look at me and be like, dude, get a life. Wake up. What are you doing? You're sitting on the phone all day with somebody who's spending life in prison for killing a child. Okay. Because remember, all these calls that we've heard today are just one day.
Not what God wants. God does not want you to hate. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
Roxanne.
And I just get so mad, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish that she could watch this. If she could, you know, and that's why I'm telling you, don't trust that lady. Don't trust those people, because they act all nice, but they're not, you know? I'm so afraid. They're going to find out about me. They're like, oh my gosh, we're going to be able to find out who's telling her about our YouTube and this and that. I'm like, oh God, you know? I'm so scared, but I mean, at the same time, I gotta trust in God, just like you said. He'll protect us. You know, I just want to be happy.
Hold on. Right now? Okay.
Aw, Aries
yeah.
girl.
I gotta call you back. They're calling me back down there, okay?
Okay, all right.
And then we have one more call. It's about 20 minutes, and it's going to stay on the subject of this kind of stuff. I'm actually going to I'll turn my camera on at the end. I was going to turn it on, but I need to watch the transcript just to be safe. I don't want, again, to put anything out there that shouldn't be out there, and in case I miss something. But I just want to say, Aries girl, that is so freaking sweet. And you guys have made a difference in my life. And yeah, it means a lot to me when I will get messages that say it, like your comment here, say things like that. It just really does. So thank you. And yeah, back at you for real. Panman says, OMG, I wish she would come in a chat that I'm in so I could tell her about herself so bad. She needs to hear some things about herself and her behavior. She needs somebody to put things in perspective. Yeah. It's like we're the bad guys. Okay. Okay.
I'll call you about that.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey.
I know, riding down the rabbit hole.
they just called up here and called tip line.
What?
Yeah, they told me they're just going to close everything out and not to worry about it.
Called up
Okay.
here and called the
I know
tip
she's gonna try
line,
to
not
get her incident
me.
reports and stuff from there too. They're like, oh, she has been behaving there. Well, it's going to change when she's in there. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
You shut the fuck up. But let me tell you something. I damn sure ain't calling no tip lines again. And I did say we would get the incident reports. Have you ever seen, okay, if you haven't, guys in the chat and anybody who's listening to this, I have a playlist called Letecia, Stauch in El Paso County Jail. And on that playlist, we read through, it's a 3,000 page document. And I go like a little bit at a time. Some videos are like 10 minutes through all the things that she did while she was in jail and all the people who couldn't stand to be there with her. They didn't feel like they could even control their own behavior being in there with her. If you haven't seen that, go look, and then you might understand a little more why someone would be interested in getting her incident reports. It is the most ridiculous. Like sometimes I cannot believe that a person exists like this. Sometimes reading that, literally throwing feces on other inmates, painting with bodily fluids when there's no wounds, if you get my drift, painting with her own blood when she has no wounds on her, and the police explicitly say that, or the guards in the jail. and many other things that she did. You know, going through a lot of effort to get what do you call it? The food. Why is my brain not working? When it's oh gosh, she pretended to be Jewish to get the food. They have different requirements for their food and they get better food. And she went through all of this to do that and then literally brags to a guard about how she's teaching everyone how to make this dessert and it's so good and blah blah blah. So she gets taken kosher. Thank you guys, my brain. So she gets taken off of the kosher diet. I mean, that's just the beginning. Again, 3,000 pages. There would not be 3,000 pages if there wasn't a whole lot of BS that was happening while she was awaiting trial. And I think after seeing that, we just can't help but wonder. Then we find out she sold a pair of dirty ass sweatpants, prison sweatpants on eBay, got her tablet taken, and then sued the damn jail and said that her tablet was taken out of retaliation for telling on a guard being sexually explicit with her in one way or another. She is nuts, okay? She does a lot of dumb shit. People, you cannot help but be interested and curious to see what other incidents she's getting in anywhere she's at. Come on, be realistic, dude.
They thought our behavior was going to change here.
Thank you guys for the kosher word.
Because they were shocked because she got like something from your being
that
there,
was me.
Like, on paper.
This part is
know.
me.
She just posted that yesterday. So she got that. She's like, oh, I'm going to get all the incident reports, like showing her behavior and stuff. And everybody's like, oh yeah, she's going to change, you know, being there and stuff. And I'm like, dude, you all need to get a life.
You get a life.
Why am I changing? The thing is, I don't do that stuff.
I know. That's what, you know.
What kind of thing did I get now?
Well, now that I've given some examples, I think that you could have a better answer to this question.
But
you said I got something from here.
Yeah, it was like something when you first got there or something, and it like was giving you numbers. Something. It was, I don't know what that evaluate. Like it was like it had like numbers on there. Like it was giving you like a score.
Mm-hmm.
And it like had like one write up on there, and it had no like escapes and stuff like that. It was just like
yeah, we were kind of shocked because she's got multiple escape attempts, but okay. I mean, I think that is relevant when it comes to her classification in a prison, but crazy old me.
Oh, okay.
And she put it on there. She's like, I'm gonna be able to get all incident reports, and we're gonna see what's going on. And I'm like, oh my god, you need to get a life. Like seriously, you go all out of your way for that.
You need to get a wife and a life.
They're gonna go crazy.
Isn't that it's stalking?
It's not stalking.
Oh my man,
dude. Oh my god.
And you guys are crazy. Yeah, it's like hard not to because I want to see what they say about you, but
yeah, they called me down there. I had just left them there, and then they called me back there, and I walked in like, oh god, what now? I was like, I'm the biggest. What? I said, this is how I said it. I said, what am I now? I'm the biggest drug dealer on the block, or what?
What?
All you're doing is trying to like live, you know. People just mess with you. It's crazy. That is
the guy was laughing at me. He was like, is that right? I said, I don't know. Let me guess. Is that what they said now? And he was like, well, he was like, they were just calling line again. I'm like, okay. I said, at this point, you guys are not going to know. Let's just keep starting now.
Yeah. So they called again, or they just called once?
Yeah. No, that's why I went back the second time.
Oh my god, they called again?
Yeah, that's why I went back the second time.
Wow.
Yeah. You're gonna see. Here's the thing. You got to think about it. When I was at Kansas, there was no real public information that I was there. So whenever they would do some stuff like that, you know, they just would be like, I don't know who you're talking about, and hang up, you know. So,
yeah, exactly.
They know that obviously I'm here because my charge is in this state, so therefore everything has to be, you know, on that page or whatever, on that CDOC page. So people calling or whatever, but you know, like I told him, I said, the other side would be like, I don't know what you guys are talking about, and be like, you know, do you need some kind of mental health assistance or something to hang up on?
Right,
you know?
Exactly.
Something.
Yeah.
But you start threatening them with falsifying information. You start threatening people a little bit with the charges themselves, I bet you they'll stop, you know?
Right, exactly. So, yeah, that's crazy that they actually called up there.
Why?
They didn't.
What did I do now? I'm the biggest drug dealer on the block.
I'm sorry. I'm not believing that anybody called. Do you guys believe that somebody actually called? Not just like called the jail or something, but called the jail, pretended to be like Letecia, and pretended to make a report on I don't know who through the jail. Like, I'm sure there probably were people calling, like trying to find out where she was. I didn't do that, but yeah. I'm still
I'm
going
just so
through the
afraid. Like, I'm
transcript
so
as we
scared what they're
go.
gonna get. It's like, oh, but I saw online that I'm not supposed to be. We're not charged for the phone calls, but I was charged 37 cents for 20 minutes. So maybe they're still like backing it out.
Working on it. Okay, maybe
Yeah.
they're working on it.
Yeah, because I read about it. There was a new law, and I'm like, wonder what's going on. But I mean, that's pretty cheap, 37 cents for 20 minutes.
Or maybe they made a deal to just have a certain like.
Hey,
connection fee
Catherine, I'm
amount or
glad that
something,
you're
you know?
here.
Yeah.
But but they
Wolfie.
still have to pay for this system to work because this is an upgraded system compared to standing in the phone lines, people arguing, fighting, acting a fool, that type of thing. So I'm sure there still has to be some sort of fee for this, Maybe that's what it is. And by the way, let me say this in case these stalkers are listening.
Right.
I was sarcastic. I was sarcastic with Carl, and I said, let me guess, it's a big drug robot. By the way, I don't even know what drugs is like, so just put it out there like that. So yeah. But anyway.
I missed that. What
that's all
did you say?
some sort of fee for this, Maybe that's what it is. And by the way, let me say this in case these stalkers are listening.
Right.
I was sarcastic. I was sarcastic with Carl, and I said, let me guess, it's a big drug robot. By the way, I don't even know what drugs is like, so just put it out there like that. So yeah. But anyway.
You are not even speaking clear. I don't know what you just said. Yeah, more or less. Oh, thank you, Wolfie. Thank you.
What's that word?
That's all I need.
Yeah. What's the word I'm looking for? I was trying to look for the word, but I can't think right now.
We're still going to get to some things I want to clear up.
Oh, it's so crazy.
We had to write down, after I talked to you earlier, we had to go into a group. That's where I went. I went to groups the first time, and it was like talking about what you had anxiety about or whatever. So I wrote it down in my paper. It's like a private thing. It's not, you can share or you could not share. You could just let the clinician do, right? So of course, I told the clinician that I usually share all the time about stuff or help people, whatever, but I put that on there and I told her, please don't share this. And she said, okay. So that she talked to me privately about it. And she was like, what? She's like, hold on. She's like, so you need to tell me that CDOC told you to call us the first time? I said, yep, sure did. So you want me to tell you where to go look at? And she was like, I can't believe that. And I was like, oh, you better believe it, honey. That's everything. Canteen cheese, you name it. So, I mean, and she was just like baffled, like shocked, looking at me. And I'm like, and I'm not crazy. There's not a way. I don't know what Kansas City tried to tell y'all. I said, but I'm going to tell you right now, this is a fact and it can be checked. And
right.
And she was like just mind blown by it. And she was like, and I was telling her how they were like adamant about trying to get like cancer or whatever. And she was just like looking
Blah,
at me
blah,
like,
blah. Shane says,
you
I'm real.
You couldn't process it all. And I looked at her and I said, imagine how you can't process it. I said, imagine how I feel and the people that care about me feel trying to process it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, your poor aunt.
She was like,
imagine how the people that care about me feel. Do you care about that? Because I remember you telling your aunt you were starving when you weren't and telling her how bad you were getting treated. And Brenda sitting on the phone just crying. And I'm sorry. Do you actually care?
I had the same number for 20 years. And the people started, I said, you see what I'm saying? Exactly. And I said, at the end
we're
of the
almost
day,
done, just in about 10 minutes.
Like, okay,
if that.
So the call is recorded or whatever.
Yeah,
That's supposed to be for informational purposes, like for security purposes here, like to make sure you're not doing anything crazy, or there's not like you're not in a crisis, or you're not trying to hurt somebody or showing it all. So that.
Listen, when you are, I'm sorry, when you are in prison for the rest of your life, you don't have an expectation of privacy. Not really. Maybe to an extent, but just no, not really. Maybe if you care about that, then don't do something to like so horrific like you did and get locked up for the rest of your life. There is no expectation of privacy. Even after your case is tried, there's other reasons. And for everybody's safety, they listen in, of course, for multiple reasons. But no, I don't really care about the reasons, because at the end of the day, do you really have a right to expect that your conversations are private? No, you fucking don't.
Right, it should be only for the facility. You know,
Yeah,
for
I
them.
said,
But okay.
I think there should be a privacy, thing that even though a person does agree to that monitoring recording, it does not tell them you may blast this all over the internet and all your information. But yeah, okay,
Man.
you may play it in the captain's office or the warden's office because you're checking into something, or whoever listens to it or whatever.
There you go, Lisa. When people's taxes pay to keep you, they have the right to hear what their money is paying for. Absolutely. Shane says they think I know Amy. Who is they?
You shouldn't get no point. Yeah. So me and her were talking about that, and she was just like, I know I've heard stuff where people have said that.
Are you the guy who wrote
maybe out on
Tecia?
TV. I told the lady, I said, yeah, but that was a different situation. I said, this was like, okay, like, they put this one high-profile case, one of his calls out there. That's because he was talking about something really, really crazy.
Aw.
And this missing case, this missing aspect of the case, and he was telling somebody about it. So, of course, they were going to put that out there. That was evidence, you know what I mean? But when you were talking just randomly to your family and friends just about random stuff, what does it matter?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And they want to listen to everything, like everything. And it's great. It's like, why? Why? And it actually threatens everything, too.
Well, the one good thing about it is they won't have all the calls because you're writing calls from my account all the time. But the only reason I called you from my account all the time was because I couldn't always use the other account.
So Letecia is trying to say that she uses someone else's account. And that is why you only see calls with certain people. Okay, I need to know more.
I called you more than anybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we always talked about random stuff or how crazy they were or whatever. Like if I stayed on the phone with a family member, it might have only been, just a regular 15-minute or 20-minute phone call. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, so the problem was me calling on someone else's account all the time was like, it was difficult because they wanted to use it, or something like that. So, if I'd been logged on in hers and she was logged on to mine in Kansas, then it could have, messed hers or whatever. And I didn't want anybody to get frustrated or whatever. But anyway, it's just crazy. Some of the stuff they won't get, but like at the end of the day, I don't want them to get it anyway, and they're not because they're claiming that and then use it. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Amen.
Right. I just gotta pray and just hope none of the Kansas stuff goes out.
Yeah.
And
Wow. That was weird, right? I've heard that about 3-4 times now. And every time I hear it, I'm like, what was happening in Kansas? Shane, you can email me. It's on the screen on the banner. But yeah, what was happening? Huh?
and yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Oh, thank you.
Right.
Anna
I just
P.
gotta pray and just hope none of the Kansas stuff goes out.
Yeah.
And
Sounds like it would
is.
be,
if they're
doesn't it?
Whatever, I can't stop it, whatever, but it is nerve-wracking right now because they're going to go for everything, try to get everything, but they might not release these calls because every time I look, it says no. And now that you're in there, they might have just released it because you were moved.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm praying. Because it's like, I have to worry about what I say to you on the phone. Why do I have to always worry about what I say to you on the phone? It shouldn't even be their business anyways.
I know.
When I talk to you about...
What? Go ahead.
Oh, I said when I talk to you about it might be personal, like something might be going on that day. Why do they have to know all that? Who knows? What were you going to say?
I was going to say, when you looked that mall up, was that a Kansas call?
Did I what?
When you said you looked up that mall earlier, was that a Kansas call?
Lil Red, I know she does. She does admit to breaking the rules using someone else's phone pin, but I do not believe that's true. And I'll tell you more in a second of why. And then, because we got to get to the next part and it all makes sense. And then Wolfie, I don't know if they do, yeah. And also, that's another person whose phone calls have been released. Many people, once you start listening, then you become somewhat invested. You want to hear it if it comes out. Just like that guy, who is it that phone calls from prisons covers all the time? Oh my gosh, Nesto or something. It just is. That's what it is. But you're not special.
When I looked up what?
There's other
The
people
mall.
too.
You said there was.
No, it's Colorado. No, it's Colorado.
Yeah. So
Wait,
that's the thing,
7.
though.
Yep, she is.
The Kansas mall would apply.
Yeah, well, Kansas doesn't show anything, but they said that they can't get anything, and even if it's just being you, they can't. I guess it's Kansas, they just don't release them, and that's what I'm hoping that's the truth.
A lot of time
Is that
spent worried about
is that
this
gonna be proof that I'm
releasing these
wrong?
calls.
Like, is
Yeah,
there,
well,
is
yeah,
there state law on it?
I think so.
Kansas, yes, Kansas has a law. They do not release anything. They do not release incident reports. They do not release phone calls. They do not release anything. That is why those lawsuit lives are so important in this whole story, like in this whole situation, because in those lawsuit, in the paperwork that was going back and forth in different motions and stuff, we got to see many of the incident reports and things that were actually happening in Kansas. But that is only because it was in the lawsuit. Otherwise, we wouldn't have seen any of it. KPM, no. But I'm going to, here, let me play this and we'll get there. Hold on.
I think it's state.
I know the EAI people told me there was a state law. Remember when I kept having like the whole
Hey,
thing went
Tinkerbell,
down
wanna
and like
be-
all these people calling there to begin with? The EAI people told me that there was a state law, and he was like, "It's a state law. We can't release it." He was like, "Unless it pertains." That's how he said it. He said, "Unless it pertains to something that would be a new case, like they would charge you with something." You know what I mean? Like you had committed
Yeah.
crime, I was in prison or whatever. And that's what he told me. So
But other than that, they don't.
that's what he said. Now again, money talks. So.
I know. When I'm reading about this, I'm like, okay, do I trust this? Because, whatever. So, but yeah, I mean, it does say it. So it says that they can't profit off the phone calls. And they're not
Right.
supposed to.
The jail can't profit off them. They're doing them free. They can't sell them. We've already went over this. And if you get them, you cannot use them in business advertisements or sell them to like TMZ or something like that. Yes, that's true. But you can upload them to, for instance, YouTube. It's free to watch. It's a public website, or probably anywhere else like that, like maybe TikTok, Facebook, whatever.
Not, so I'm praying and hoping that that's true.
Which is why I did not upload these to Patreon. I usually used to upload the phone calls with no commentary on Patreon before the live. Now I'm not going to do that. I still think I could if it was a free tier. I don't want to do that though, just in case, to be safe. And so I will upload them without commentary as soon as the live is over. I don't know. Let me know. Do you want me to add a live chat with it, where you can chat as it goes? Because many of you guys probably won't even listen to those. I don't know. Or should I just put it out like a regular video? Hey, YouTube bad actors. Ooh, I like your picture too with the clown. I get it. All right, here we go.
I'm not 100% true, true with it, but that's what it says. You know what I mean?
My hell, no one
Nothing
can
going
say
on
it.
Creative
They
Minds.
and then piss, I sued them.
I hope not. They said that they can't release any. Kansas won't, and even
Oh
if it's
my
a
God.
they don't. But who knows? I mean, they just ask. Who knows? I don't know. I just pray not, because there are some personal things that really should not go out.
Oh, really?
Well, there's a lot with
Like what?
a few people, like
Is it
Amy,
Tisha?
like my friend Amy, not.
Oh, honey, we know that Amy quit talking to you in El Paso County, unless that started back again, but okay. The last several months of calls with Tecia were all with Amy Lang, except the very rare occasion with Brenda, and several months back, some with Harley. But you guys know, you've been here. They're all up on our channels. Like, you can hear them.
Not the other Amy.
Not the other one.
There's personal stuff between her. There's personal
Now listen to this.
text
Here we go.
messages or detail messages between me and Harley.
So there's text messages or GTL messages with her and Harley. Tecia says, notice this, because I'm going to walk you through this to explain why I don't believe it for a couple of reasons. So Tecia says there's phone calls with these other people, but there's these messages with Harley, which could be true. I don't know, but that she sent Harley. Let's keep playing for a second.
A thread named Brenda that, I would copy and paste everything on to keep notes,
We'll
Yeah.
see.
So.
And they think you don't talk to Harley.
They think you don't talk to Harley. Okay. She goes, listen to Ticia's response.
I know. I don't know what I should say about that on there. That's your daughter. You know what I mean? I don't want them to whatever. That's a touchy one, but yeah,
I mean, Harley goes through her phases, you know. Why wouldn't she? You know, she misses her mom. Of course she goes through her phases.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, she don't ever get mad. Yeah, she goes through her phases and she gets mad.
Okay. Harley goes through her phases. I mean, look, I definitely understand that. And Harley has a right to feel however she feels. My heart goes out to Harley. I cannot imagine what life must be like for her. She's lost her dad. We're going to hear about that in a second. She's lost her mom. She's lost her little brother, sister, her stepdad, everything, and got pushed out into the world as a very young person. She doesn't deserve, to be tied to any of this. But
And I talk to Amy about it, and maybe like, well, this is how she's feeling right now, and then it all works itself back out. So, you know, and that's just emotions that she's allowed to have, because
She's allowed to have them, yeah.
she's absolutely allowed to have them. Nobody said that. But here's the thing that you're missing, and you're missing in your messaging to Letecia. If you do hear this, which I guess you will because you watch, we didn't say that she didn't talk to Harley. Harley said that. Okay? We did not put that out there. We have talked about it, sure. Harley said that. Harley said she's thought about doing a podcast and talking about how you are not like your parents. Harley said she's writing a book. Harley said she wants to tell her story about how her life and how she finally got away from her mom. Harley says on her live streams that she does not talk to her mom. We have not said that. Okay? If we have, we may have referenced Harley saying that. This is not something we've made up. This is not a conclusion we've came to from receiving phone calls and things like that. No. And I'm sure you could get their emails and messages too. I haven't tried to request them. But I've seen it with Wade. We see that, with Stephen Stearns, whatever. But do not get it twisted that this is some kind of whatever that we're putting out. Harley has said that, and good for her. You're right, Michelle. Good for Harley. Okay? She's the one who said she talks about it as, like I said, she wants to talk about how you are not like your parents. Just because your parent is this kind of person, you are not them. You do not need to, suffer in their shadow. Those are my words. But she's the one who says very clearly she doesn't talk to her mom and wants nothing to do with her. I've never said that from anything else except for hearing it from Harley. It's not a conclusion I came to from going through any of the case files, lawsuits, jail records, none of that. Okay. It came straight from Harley, and Harley seems to be doing really good. Tess just sent me a post from her today. She looks gorgeous. She's, in nursing school. We all know that. I think she's doing really great. She's writing a book right now, probably about this. And she has a right to tell her story. She has a right to tell the world she's not talking to her mom if she fucking wants to. And she has a right to tell us nothing if she wants to. She very clearly said, because I would go in her live and talk, and I know she knows who I am. She very clearly said, I've been asked on so many different podcasts and news interviews, but I think I want to put it out myself. I want to tell my story, and I want to tell it exactly how I want to tell it. And I don't want anybody else editing it or putting this there or taking this out. I want to tell it, and that's what she's going to do, and I believe she will. So don't you dare act like, oh, I think you don't talk to Harley. And then Tisha's like, well, she goes through her phases, but I've messaged her, but what, she's allowed to go through her phases. And they're like, yeah, she's allowed. We never said she wasn't allowed. I support Harley. There were times I had questions during the trial and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I got nothing bad to say about her. I support her. I think that she deserves to tell her story and then walk away from this if she wants to, and all of it if she wants to. Okay? Oh, I'm the prize. Thank you. And you're so welcome. And thank you so much. Hey, Chief. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I just had to say, because that really pissed me off. You're putting this like, oh, they think they're saying you don't do this. No. Don't you dare, because what you're doing is undermining Harley and what she's put out there. She has said it. And damn it, she's allowed to. Like you said, hold on. Let's rewind this part right here. What did you guys say?
I talk to Amy about it, and maybe like, well, this is how she's feeling right now, and then it all works itself back out. So, you know, and that's just emotions that she's allowed to have because
She's allowed to have them, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
my mom is always
she's allowed to. She's allowed to. She's allowed to say what she wants. It's her story too, and she is the one who's put that information out. Thank you very much.
yeah, her mom was always in her life. So, you know, it's hard for her, and she's, you know, her father is deceased. So, like, of course, she's allowed to have that emotion. Just like every time she got, you know, every time she got mad at me, and then, you know, I would always send a message and say, my mother's love is unconditional. So, you might, if you're, I know you're mad at me, this is the times, like, you know, like, hard times around certain holidays, or, you know, like that. Yeah, it's how you feel when you miss your mom, you know, you get,
it's totally understandable with her. You know, I mean, you have every right to feel how you do, and she doesn't have you. So
you have every right to feel how you do. Oh my God. What? I might break something. I don't even guess. I don't know how I missed that. Why are you making this about Tecia and her feelings? Let's go back to the fact that Harley's the one who put that out, and she has every right to feel how she feels. I mean, look at what she even went through during that time. I can't, what all the kids went through. Lena, you know, no, you have every right to feel how you feel. What? Yeah, I guess so. But this ain't about Tecia and her feelings. And Harley has every right to feel and say what she wants. And guess what? Unfortunately for y'all, it doesn't line up with what you're saying.
People need to understand that and leave everybody alone, you know?
yeah, yep.
She's going to have them.
And then I would call her, you know, like obviously I always call Harley on another account, you know, and then I might message her on GTO and be like, it was actually her own account, her actual account on GTO. And then, you know, I might message her and be like, you know, hey, what's going on? You didn't answer. And she might first write back and be like, I've been busy at school. Which I know that's just a cover up because she learned that trait from me. You know, like, I'm just busy at school. I know she's upset. So then I have to send messages to be like, you know, mostly thinking about her and her feelings. Like, don't me, don't, you know, I don't care about mine, you know. And once I do that, then she works herself out in her head and then she's fine again, you know. So
yeah, that's how it's going to be, you know, until, you know, whoever. You never know how long, but she's always going to, you're her mom.
How dare
she's always
you?
going to love you and want you, you know.
Yeah.
You guys are really close, so.
Maybe they were. She's always going to love you and want you. Go watch Harley's TikTok. I think I have a video. As a matter of fact, if I do, I will find it after this and share it in the comment section of this live where I reviewed Harley because I remember screen recording her saying herself she doesn't want anything to do with her mother. She doesn't talk to her anymore. She's not in her life. And she plans on speaking out about what her life has been like, going through all the shit that she's had to go through because of her mother and her mother's fucking choices.
It's weird, you know.
Oh, it makes me mad. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, in a way you do because, you know, like, yeah, your mom, I'm not passed away, but you still feel the same way she feels.
They're twisting it.
You can't pick up the phone and call your mom whenever you want to, you know?
Right.
And
yeah.
This is not Amy.
You have those same feelings.
It's a new friend, and they are from a month ago.
You know, because you're just trying to understand things. You might have more anger at the cancer word, but it's still all emotions, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's true. It's a lot of emotions mixed. You know, one minute you're fine, and then something will remind you of it, you know, and then you break down. It's kind of like, it's grieving, really.
Maybe grieving? Oh, it's kind of like it's grieving, really. Wonder if Harley grieved Gannon's life. Wonder if she grieved the loss of Lena and Al in her life. Probably so, huh? Yeah.
She was okay for a little bit, and then she was mad at me for a few weeks, and it was simply because a reminder popped up of a place we had been. You know what I mean? And that's okay for her to take that time because she's got to do whatever she's got to do mentally to be okay because this is hard for her, you know. And of course she wants her mom around. Of course she wants, you know, everything to be back the way it was, you know. So I never get mad at her. I always just be like, you know, I check on her and then like, it's my mother's unconditional. I know you're upset, but I'm gonna keep praying. And then God always handles it.
You have 1 minute left.
You know. So.
Yeah. That's good that you're understanding with it.
Yeah.
And it is true. Love is
What the fuck is she supposed to be?
Recall
That
from
was the end of it. Oh my God. Because at the end of these calls, it starts back over play in the beginning. There are a bunch more. I don't know how long I'll request them because I want to, of course, request and do things with other cases too. But well, as long as you guys want to hear it and I'm interested in doing it, Jen's interested in doing it, we'll talk about it. I'll have these up tonight. Oh, I didn't see. You guys let me know. If you want me to put a live chat up when this premieres, I can do that. Or should I just put it up and just post it as a video? Because I don't know if anybody here would want to watch it again without commentary and like chat in the chat with each other, or a live chat, please. Okay, Diana, I can do that. A live chat. Okay, so I'll set it. I just have to set it for a premiere. Keep on, please. Oh, girl, we got a bunch to go just to get through the month I requested, which it wasn't even a full month when I did. I think it was 90 some recordings. So we have a bunch to get through. But damn, did y'all hear that? I've got terrible allergies right now. Like when I breathe in, like had a little wheeze or something weird going on. But anyways, thank you guys for being here and going through this with me, because they're always interesting. And, I do want to listen, but this in particular, I wanted to respond to many of these things. And thank you to Jen for doing this with me. And yeah, I also have a live planned I was going to do yesterday on some Stefan Stern stuff. So if you're interested in that, be on the lookout. And 20 more minutes. Well, you know it. I could sit here and go for 45 minutes. I've missed you guys. I hope you guys have a good Father's Day, though. And yeah, thank you for being here. I guess I'm going to wrap it up. Very frustrating to listen to some of this and hear the way things are twisted. But anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow over at Jen's. Thank you for being here. You guys have a good night. Happy birthday to Wolfie. Kit, thank you. Also, I will always be on the lookout to make sure not to put anything out with anybody's names. Even the caller who thinks that everybody wants to stalk her and stuff. Like I said, there is information that comes along with the request. Maybe not what you would expect, but some identifying information, and it will never leave me. Because guess what? I'm not a piece of shit. I'm not that kind of person. Okay. So as much as you want to make everybody out to be these crazy stalker, terrible people, that's just not true. But anyways, you guys have a good night. I don't know. I could go on and on and on because I got lots of thoughts, but I'm going to wrap it up. I will post this as a premiere, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you have a great Father's Day. I'll probably do a live here either way, whether Jen wants to do the live tomorrow or not. I think that she wants to, but either way. And I love you, Wolfie. I love all you guys. Appreciate you guys. Hope you have a great night or a great day tomorrow too. Father's Day, all that stuff. When my brain is mush, I'm gonna let you go. Bye. Oh, I can't end it yet. Okay. Bye, guys.